buzzard circling, and my first thought was, oh, I hope they're not circling over Draper.
Ooh,
he should be okay, right?
I thought he was dead.
Well,
he was dead on the floor on the course.
I was hoping he was okay, but I did, I was worried about him when I saw that, those birds of prey circling.
Man, well, that's see, Draper down talks his game. He downplays his golf game anyway, so I can see how you are, falling down that rabbit hole, falling down that trap. So you thought maybe he was done for already?
Maybe. I mean, it crossed my mind. Okay. I have to be honest. It crossed my mind. But we have a lot of celebrities here today, and they're still mostly out on the course. So when they make their way in here, we'll be talking to a number of them from Rancho Murrieta. And Jay, right now we're in this is like we're in the secret vault here. We are in the room where the banquet is going to be held post-tournament and stretched out before us. And you saw this before I did. We've got some of the items that will be up for auction. Spectacular items, Jay.
I see a couple Giants, even though they're legendary. That was the first thing that brought my attention to it. I mean, what can you say about the Say Hey Kid, Willie Mays? One of the greatest to ever play the game, obviously. But I saw the Buster Posey.
Mm-hmm.
There's what was that, Logan? What was that over there? That's Mr. Webb.
Right. Buster Posey, Willie Mays.
Yeah.
Then we also got Drape's going to have his eye on that. There's a Taylor Swift Chiefs jersey with an autographed Taylor Swift guitar.
I saw that in the guitar over there, and I'm just like, oh. See, I'm trying to be positive because this is a positive situation. It's a positive event,
right,
Mr. Gleason, but there definitely could have been a better choice of jerseys. And the very first thing I said to you is we have the ultimate connect with one of the jerseys, the biggest jersey guy here on the West Coast when it comes to it, especially around here, which is True Sports Cards and our man Emran. And I said, man, we should have called Emran. We could have decked this place out with some non-Giant and non-Chief jerseys.
Well, there are, and I understand your consternation.
Pat Mahomes is over there.
We got a lot of nice 49er stuff here as well. Christian McCaffrey,
they pushed it off
Jerry Rice, Dwight Clark, I think George Kittle. Some nice, some beautiful stuff here, Jay. And also the Mahomes jersey. I know you're not a big Mahomes guy.
Sure. I did not look at, I see some things that are laying flat on their back on the table, and the jerseys are sitting upright, so we can see the jerseys as they align across the glass windows here as we look out towards. Have you played this course?
I actually have played 1.5 times, I think.
Do we know what hole this is? We're looking straight.
Do you know what hole that is right there?
Do we know what hole? No, she doesn't.
Okay, know sorry. Thank you.
Mr. Gleason putting the pressure on someone there, is it? But we're smack dab in the clubhouse, and we're in between two holes. There's one that's to our back, and then there's
that might be one, and so I'm assuming this might be like 9 coming back, and then you go back out. Okay. But it's kind of a guess. Yeah. It was a long time ago when I played here.
Oh, okay. Well, no problem. No pressure. Mr. Gleason. But yeah, as they align, up against the course windows, I just, the first thing I thought, I came in, and the angle that we came in, I see nothing but Raiders and Chief jerseys. As we came down the hallway, the very first thing you see is Chiefs, Raiders, Giants. I threw my hands.
So you almost turned around and just left, right? You said, I'm out.
Yeah, I'm out.
Here, I just get back from Chicago for this.
I'm done for the day already.
How was your trip to Chicago?
That was fantastic. I mean, what can you say about Chicago at this time of the year? High 70s, low 80s, Kendrick Lamar concert. I'll hold that for Draper because he wants me to hold that.
Okay.
We'll have a conversation about that. Had an opportunity to.
Did it live up to your expectations? You can tell us that much. Did you have a good time? You can
I enjoyed. Well, I have a great time with my wife all the time.
Yeah.
Enjoyed the experience. I've had the opportunity, been blessed to see Kendrick Lamar, as I call him, K-Dot, numerous times. So this was just on a grander scale, Mr. Gleason. This was on a bigger, a bigger situation when it came to the pyrotechnics and, the big screen and the story that went along with the.
What was the venue? Pardon my ignorance.
Soldier Field.
Okay.
That was really one of my highlights because I had never been to Soldier Field. So getting to go to Soldier Field and, just feeling like the 85 Bears was in the building. Or Jared Payton, not Walter Payton, just felt like Jared Payton was watching me. So I that was fantastic.
And you went to Comiskey as well?
Yeah. Great Field is what it's called. I had no clue. So let me tell you a real quick story. Wife goes with one of her friends, and they're going to check out like the quadruple story borders, and they got the 4-story Starbucks and all that good jazz on Michigan Ave. So I'm like, this is Saturday. Figure out something to do, look up, and it's like, okay, White Sox play the Royals. I can give a damn less about who they play and who.
Right. You're in Chicago. You might as well go to the yard.
Go. As I've said before, and I don't know if I've said this on air, one of my aunts lived in Chicago. I used to go to Chicago every summer from about 8 to about 14. So I had my opportunity, and I've been to, at that time, it was Comiskey Park,
right.
Wrigley, all those different things. I said, let me take a look. So we're downtown. And we're literally across the street from the Riverwalk, our hotel.
Mm-hmm.
Stayed in the L7, the L7 hotel, which is a beautiful boutique hotel. Super nice. And like, I'll jump on the L. Let me figure it out. I'll jump on the L. So I go to the L, and I'm asking the young lady, hey, I know I'm going south, but I'm looking to try to go to Comiskey. And I said, oh, excuse me, U.S. Cellular.
Yeah.
And she's looking at me. And I'm like, we're looking at each other. Yeah. And she's like, huh? And I said, oh, it's called Rate Field. And she's still looking at me. Pause. And we're literally sitting at the L. And I'm trying to get to Rate Field. She said, what is that, sir? And I said, oh, I'm trying to go watch the White Sox game. She literally busted up laughing, took 2 steps back and said, I've never heard anybody call it Rate Field. U.S. Cellular. I've heard of Comiskey. Now, this young lady probably was in her late 20s or so, early 30s. And she was like, oh, just get off on Sox and 35th. I'm like, okay, thank you. She's like, where are you from? California. She's like, oh, don't ever say Rate Field ever again in your life here. Don't ever say U.S. Cellular Field ever in your life. If you're going to call it a ballpark, call it Comiskey. If you want to get to the ballpark, call it White Sox Stadium.
Yeah.
I said, really? She was like, yeah, we never call it Rate Field. So Rate, the company Rate, you guys are paying a high price rate and not really getting your turn, the kickback on it. But enjoyed it. Of course, probably 10,000, maybe a little more than that. Saw a good ball game. I think it was 3-1, couple of 3 home runs, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
Do they still shoot fireworks when
they do?
Okay,
when they hit the home run and when they win.
Yeah,
absolutely. So that was a nice situation.
They're supposed to do that here, but they didn't work.
Okay, was it for the first game or was it for
first
every
win,
single game? Okay. Why are you bringing up bad situations?
Well, I just came to mind. We're talking about fireworks at the ball game.
Right, absolutely. Yeah. So, but I enjoyed it. Did, like I said, at the concert, did a little shopping, enjoyed the wife, got to see some things I had. Good eats, good people, and they had the Rib Festival, they had the Blues Festival, Kendrick Lamar, and they had was another festival going on, literally. So everybody that was Chicagoans, they were like, "Oh, you guys picked a great weekend to come." The Blues Festival was at Millennium Park, if I'm not mistaken, right, which was literally around the corner from us. That thing was jumping; we could literally hear.
Wow! But it was just an accident. You just came for the KDOT, and then everything else was going on. Wow!
Fantastic! Couldn't have picked a better weekend, to be completely honest. And it was great weather too.
Yeah. And your vacation continues in a way, because here we are, not in the studio, but at in Rancho Murrieta,
which is a great situation. I'm always happy to come back and see you guys. Good day, my brother, and I always miss you. I miss you guys. Certain point of time, and then
there's a little bit of truth in that. I'm looking at him as he says that. There's some truth in that.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, I love what we do. Absolutely. And then there's opportunity where it's like, I'm tired of you guys. I'm out.
Yeah.
And maybe it's not so much as you guys, it's just the grind.
Hello.
Hey.
Real quick here, Jay. We're going to have a lot of fun today, but I do want to just circle back to the cause today, because I learned something about this, and I don't know if you knew this. Maybe you did. I didn't. As I mentioned, the Drive for Impact Celebrity Golf Classic today supports victims of human trafficking, domestic violence, and hardship. And as I said, we're just humbled to be even a small part of that. But Sacramento is apparently an area that is considered at risk for human trafficking.
Yeah, I did not know that. There was maybe 6-7 months ago, 6-7 months ago, I had went to a city meeting, and that was one of the ordinances they were talking about, is how to protect. They were trying to pass some type of bill or some type of situation where how we could be better protective of our county when it comes to Sacramento and the surrounding regions of human trafficking. And so we're a melting pot here in Sacramento area, Northern California for the most part. And it blew my mind. It really did, because we know these things happen, unfortunately.
Right.
but
sometimes they happen right next to you and you don't even know it. And it just I felt some kind of way about it.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
I was like, man,
yeah, buckled me a little bit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we're back in just a moment with more from Rancho Murrieta. We'll look at how OKC has shut off Haliburton's water.
And we can't wait to find out how
Kyle Draper's doing. Hopefully those buzzards have nothing to do with it. We'll let you know as soon as we find out. It's the Drive Guys from Rancho Murrieta today, Sacktown Sports.
Casino conveniently located on 411th North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento.
Pigeon ants, runaway roaches, a spider. A spider!
On there?
Wow.
Is there a guest Wi-Fi on there?
I believe there is.
Insect sprays use a powerful blend of mint and rosemary to eliminate those pests and up to 20 other bug types. Plus, Devo is safe for use around people and pets when used as directed.
One's faster, 5 gigahertz.
Just spray the bugs and wipe them away. Zevo, people friendly, bug deadly.
Next. Yeah.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, put together a free information
yes. Your email?
Industry doesn't want you to know. Including 5 ways to get rid of it.
The link.
Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide.
Okay, here you go. To your email and I'll send you the
5959. That's 800-646.
Send the link to your email.
800-646-5959.
Live and local, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., Monday through Friday. Sacktown Sports.
Yes, it's Drive Guys. It's Whitey and Jay with Kyle Draper out on the course here at beautiful Rancho Murrieta. We're here today for the Drive for Impact Celebrity Golf Classic. As we mentioned, it supports victims of human trafficking, domestic violence, and hardship. And we've got some Kyle Draper might, I say might, he could be, but he might not even be the biggest celebrity out here. I mean, it's that big.
Oh, it's interesting. I drove up and I saw one of the organizers. KT, that my boy KT. What's up, K? It's Kenny Thomas. He'll be joining us a little later and throwing the peace sign up. Got to get back to the hole. But yeah, I drove up and I just so happened to see Greg Vaughn from a distance, and he was in the cart. And the organizer said, Greg? And I said, yeah, no Greg, a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my gosh, we just had some great people this weekend. Great activities, great festivities, great parties, great things. And so anytime you get to see Greg Vaughn, as a Sacramento legend, it's always a beautiful, beautiful situation. But you might be right. Draper may be right at the top of that list.
Yeah, he might be. Yeah, but it's close is my point, because we got some real luminaries. It's close.
Give me one who you think might be bigger than K. Draper.
How about Olden Polonies?
Maybe. Olden's in the news right now.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. You know who I'm super excited to see? Did you ever have the opportunity to see the 30 for 30 or Marcus Dupree?
No, but I heard today, I know we shared the text earlier that he was going to.
Yeah, Marcus Dupree. And the other gentleman, I'm super excited. I did not like who he played for, which was University of Nebraska. Tommy Frazier.
Yes.
Oh, man.
Yes.
Tommy was a baller.
94, 95, back-to-back.
Was a baller, man. I saw Tommy Frazier. I almost literally went to Emran's shop. I didn't have enough time to get over there this morning, but I was getting ready to go to Emran's shop and see if he had something for Tommy Frazier for me to get it autographed. Tommy Frazier in the 90s, especially early 90s, 94, 95, he was one of those quarterbacks, especially for a young black kid. Like, man, Tommy Frazier is the end all be all almost at that point in time.
Yeah.
For a quarterback.
Maybe Emran would run it out for there.
Yeah, I should give him a text.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
Emran might. He's a busy man, though. Maybe you could put it in a Pony Express or something this way for me.
Yeah.
I'm sure he can take care of you.
Jay, have you had a chance to watch? I know you've been traveling.
Have you had a chance to watch
much of any of the NBA finals, which are now all even?
Yeah, of course, man. It's my job to watch, right? Yeah. So I watched first. Yeah, and I watched yesterday as well. Got off the plane in San Francisco, had a party to get to, and wound up not going to the party. Sat at my father-in-law's house and watched game 2 while my wife went to the party. So I had a good opportunity to check it out.
Yeah,
absolutely.
No surprise, the way the OKC Thunder came thundering back and took care of their business. How much of that loss can we pin on Haliburton? That's a stupid and terrible thing to say, but that's the way we look at basketball now. Well, how much of it was his fault? They did a good job of shutting off his water and shutting it down.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I will say this. If everything is put on Haliburton and we have an issue, then that series is already over because everything's not on Haliburton. He had a terrible first 3 quarters. Last frame, obviously, had 12 points.
Right.
But a lot of it because he's the star. You know, he's the guy that has led this team, albeit out, a lot of help, Pascal Siakam being an all-star. But it's definitely on Haliburton. A lot of it is on his plate. A lot of it has to do with how he plays. And he's just got to be better. And he's got to be better early in the game, too. And the Pacers need to be better early on in the game as well, Mr. Gleason.
Yeah. We're just working our way through here, our YouTube setup, so appreciate your patience here. As we work our way through that. We've got some interesting shots here, Jay. Look at this.
Yeah, just gotta handle that over there. Just put a drive-through box.
Okay. Most points. To do that?
No, that'd be on the control side.
Yes. Most points, first 2 finals games. Most points, first 2 finals games of your career. Shea is the all-time record holder now with 72. 72 points in his first 2 finals games of his career. That's the most anybody has scored in their first 2 finals games. Iverson had 71. MJ had 71. Excuse me, MJ had 68. Jokic, 68. KD, 68. But Shea is the all-time record holder for what that's worth. What's interesting to me there, you have 5 guys. We don't know yet about Shea. They probably win. We'll see. But of the other 4, 2 of them won those series, and the other 2 lost those series. So maybe it's not the be-all, end-all. You got to help. You got to get by a little help from your friends, Jay.
Yeah, no, I totally understand. OKC looks daunting when you look at them from the opposite side, don't they?
Yes.
They literally have a complete roster. It looks like a complete roster. On paper and when you see them on the floor. They look good. And when you got, Wallace hitting shots, Isaiah Joe doing his thing, they just look daunting. And we know the stars.
Because
we know what
they like a snake around you and squeeze.
They got a clamp. Lou Dort's got a clamp on him. You talk about snake right there. Yeah, he is. He's balling, man. He's doing his thing. And they're running so many guys. It's the same thing they just did to him. Damn it. They're running so many guys at Tyrese. It's like Tyrese just can't get a handle on what's coming at him. But I will say this. What was your thoughts on this? I know there's been some whispers about Rick Carlisle's got to make some adjustments. Due to last night's game, the Pacers were a -7 when Tyrese was playing versus when he was off the floor, they were a -22, right? And so he might have to go Tibbs style. He might have to ride Shorel. Absolutely. You might have to see 6-7 guys instead of the Shepherds and Spencers and some of those guys ain't getting it done already.
Right. I think he has to do that, but whether he does that or not, the main thing is they just have to get more. I hate this term now because it's so overused, but they have to get more paint touches. They have to get into the lane. And OKC right now, especially with Haliburton, they're just not allowing. He'll drive and get stripped from behind, and there's 3 guys in front of him. Just wait for him.
Yeah, look, man. If they get by someone, if he can get by a Dort, or he can get by Caruso. Caruso plays way bigger than what he really is. He's playing Pascal Siakam, and he did it even in the Minnesota series. He was playing guys bigger than him. It's just super interesting to see Caruso, play defense and how he gets it done defensively, and still is able to contribute on the offensive side.
Yeah. Just think. It depends on lineups, but you got Dort on you there to switch. Like, I don't have him on anymore. And then you got Caruso picks you up. It's like, what are you gonna do, Jay?
You ain't lying. No. You're 100% right. Especially when Dort is out there. What's super interesting about their complete defense? They have a lot of guys who look similar.
Yeah.
They all kind of fit the mold of not a 3-and-D because that's the typical, but they fit the mold of someone that looks athletic. They fit the mold of someone that plays athletic. They fit the mold of They're very interchangeable. They're Legos. They're Legos, man. They're going to be good until they have to move off some pieces because people are going to have to get paid. Draper has said this a few times, and I think you talked about it. They might be. They possibly could be good for the next 5 years.
Yeah, they're set up that way. They got a shot. It's really hard.
Minus injuries.
With all of the different variables, the season's so long and money comes into play, but they're definitely set up for as good of a shot at an extended run as we've seen. I mean, they're set up for a better run than what the Warriors were on, really.
Oh, yeah.
Even the Warriors didn't win 3 in a row. They won their 4, and that's great.
Right.
They never won 3 in a row. This is a team that could be there every year for a while.
Yeah, no, 100%. I think, you got Shea, who's 6 years old. You got J-Dub. Chet looks like an absolute animal when he wants to. And even, first game, he didn't have the best game. Last night he played.
He came out like he had a purpose.
Yeah, definitely. They look dangerous.
Yeah.
They're can we say they are a better team than the Pacers?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. The series technically is even, but to me, it's not. The Pacers have only been ahead for 3/10 of a second.
I know. And that's crazy.
And plus, good for them. They're great at what
they do. Come from behind. They never give up. But this series, to me, it's not even. It really shifted OKC's way last night. We'll see. The thing about the way they defend you, I'm thinking of Haliburton and assuming the way he's feeling. I could be wrong. But, when teams know your tendencies better than you do sometimes, and they're stopping you from doing things that you don't even know you like to do, it gets really confusing. You're like, what is it? Why am I playing badly? Right. You don't even know what's going on. When another team is able to keep you from doing things that you don't even know you like to do. Yeah.
No, that's a great point. When you look at how both games have played, they've had huge leads in both games.
Mm-hmm.
First game, you could see it starting to slip away.
Yeah.
And I was literally sitting there and watching it, and my wife was like, "Oh, this game's over." And I said, "Be careful. This is what the Pacers do now. Be careful." And then you could almost see it play out. They go down, they missed a shot on their end, and it was 7-8 seconds left. And I said, "Oh, here we go. It's tied." Ty he has no phrase, like it's no tie time or something.
Right.
Someone's got to come up with them.
Yeah.
Come up with that catchphrase. We need to make a phone call to Mr. Boyle and a couple of the guys over there. Who's that? Chris Denari over there as well,
sure.
if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
We need to make sure we call over there, and they need a tie time phrase or something,
Yeah, they may have one.
I haven't heard it.
I haven't either. As you said, he made it look a lot better in the box score last night with that big fourth quarter.
Yeah, 12.
And now they're back home. I know Shaq last night said, you got to like Indiana going back home. Maybe he's right, but I'm with you. I don't see it. Maybe it's there, but I don't see it.
They need 2, not a split. They need 2. And I know they won game 1 in OKC, but I'm with you. If they can get both of their games at home, they're cooking with grease. If they split and go back to OKC, they're in a world of trouble.
Yeah.
I know that sounds crazy because you've done what you wanted to do, but OKC just looks better. They truly look better.
When we come back, I'll tell you why Indy did not feel that Domas was a player they could build around. Were they right? That's next year. It's Drive Guys coming to you from the Drive for Impact Celebrity Golf Classic, Rancho Murrieta. We're back in a moment. Sacktown Sports.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Fidium Fiber.
I'm meteorologist Kelly Curran in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. We are expecting lots of sunshine throughout the day today. Winds will be out of the south at 5 to 10 miles per hour with gusts up to 20 and highs today in the mid-90s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA app.
It's about time they
fixed that pothole.
Invented better windshield wipers.
Made an internet that just works. Fidium Fiber Internet, starting at only $30 a month. It feels like Fidium. Offer available to residential customers only. Terms and conditions apply. See Fidium.com for details.
Watching Clorox cleanup spray dissolve tough grime in the shower feels like...
Wait, this really just happened? I'm shocked. Underwear and everything?
It feels like being able to zip up your overpacked suitcase on the first try.
Smooth.
With Clorox, clean feels satisfying. Clean feels good. Use as directed.
Thy ticket, Lady Jennifer of Coolidge.
Well, many thanks, good sir. Hereeth my Discover card.
They accept Discover at Renaissance fairs?
Yeah, they do here. Discover is accepted at the places I love to shop. Get it? With the times.
With the times? You're playing the lute.
Yeah, and it sounds pretty good, right?
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
Sacramento Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has the biggest selection, the best prices, and unbeatable customer service. Check them out online, sacssuperstore.com, for the guaranteed lowest price on Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. Open until 10 o'clock and right across from Hagen Oaks Golf Course. sacssuperstore.com.
Louis C.K. in an all-new show, Ridiculous 2025 Tour.
When I was younger, you had to go in the bank. Remember that? You had to go inside the bank. Now you look in the bank, you're like, what are those people doing in there? Are they cleaning? The money's out here.
Friday and Saturday, June 13th and 14th, 8 p.m., the venue at Thunder Valley. For tickets, visit thundervalleyresort.com. Louis C.K. live on stage.
Get ready for a night out with Jordan Davis. It's Country in the Park 2, Saturday, September 13th at Cal Expo. Along with the special guests Mitchell Tenpenny, Locash, Vincent Mason, and Abriana. Make it a family day out with food trucks, games, dancing, and more. Saturday, September 13th at Cal Expo with Michelob Ultra. Tickets are available now at CITPFest.com.
Skeeter here. Got a question. What's small and dark with white bands on its legs and bites during the day?
Mosquitoes. Hi, I'm Luz Maria Robles, but these are two new types of day-biting mosquitoes. They're invading our area and becoming a big problem.
And they can be dangerous.
But we're on it, so when you see them, report it at fightthebite.net. In the meantime, use insect repellent and drain stagnant water around your yard.
We're here to help with these day-biting mosquitoes.
Visit us at fightthebite.net.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave here for American Energy, and oh my goodness, I'm born and raised here. I know it gets hot, but my goodness, we're already seeing 100-degree days. Listen to me. You do not want your system to conk out in the middle of June or July or August with one of those big 100-degree stretches. You want to make sure you're good all summer long. And my friends at American Energy Heating and Air can do that with a $24.50 tune-up right now. That's half price. And if you need a new system, $3,500 off, up to $3,500 off in rebates for qualified systems. They've been around since 1981, serving the greater Sacramento area. A+ with the Better Business Bureau. Call them right now, 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990. Jingle Singers, take it away.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Live and local, it's the Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sacktown Sports 1140.
Listen on the Sacktown Sports app.
The Drive for Impact Celebrity Golf Classic. So you got Whitey and Jay here in the banquet room. Get ready for the guests and the celebrities to come streaming in. They're all out on the golf course now. And you say you have an update on Kyle Draper?
Yeah, I texted our boy Drapes, and I said, man, how you hitting him? And he just put blank, terrible. And I mean, the blank was long and drawn out.
Yeah,
just, terrible. So I hit him. I gave him a little pep talk. I said, man, come on, pull it together.
Right.
Got the last few holes. You
Focus.
Pull it together. Lock in, baby.
Uh-huh.
And he's like, let's see. He said, absolutely.
Yeah.
He's like, the last few, I got to lock in.
Mm-hmm. I get the sense because he tells us this all the time. He's his own worst enemy out there.
Golf. I walk up, Whitey, and one of the organizers. It's like, hey, Jay, we listen to you guys all the time. Hey, thank you so much, man. And then he goes into the fact of he played baseball, or he was a scout for a long time and coached his daughter and softball and all the good things. And he's like, you ever tried golf? No. He said, I'm just asking because I always hear you on the show making fun of it. He's like, you should try it. I said, nah, it's probably not for me. And he was like, let me tell you something. It is the biggest mental mind blank there is.
Yep.
And he says, if you're not mentally connected to golf, that's the first part, then you don't even come out. Now,
Right.
So I'm not.
Right.
You know, I'd make fun of the game, and I don't want to do that for people. You know, we have great people around the area, great golf courses. Shouts out to the Morton family, and you know, it's just something out of respect, I don't want to do it. And so, but he told me, he's like, hey, listen, mentally, you gotta lock in.
Yeah.
It's not like baseball. And I said, well, then it ain't for me.
Yeah. I know when you play basketball, you like to teach players, you like to learn how to shoot in such a way that when something's going wrong, you can figure out what am I doing wrong. I assume that's the way it is in baseball too. That's the way it is in golf. When things start going sideways, you have to be able to have an idea, what am I doing wrong? And sometimes that's really hard, and you end up kind of chasing your tail.
Is it because you can't, you know, in basketball or baseball, if I swing at a pitch, 9 times out of 10, I'm out in front. I was a little behind it. You know, some kind of way you can feel I got up under it a little bit. I caught it at the end of the bat. It came on the inside, you know, up the bat a little bit. You can feel what happened.
Yeah.
In basketball, I didn't get across the laces good enough. You know, certain things like that. I didn't put enough spin, whatever the case may be. Can you feel that in golf?
I think, and I'm not really good enough to speak to it. There's a lot better listeners, a lot better golfers than me listening right now. There's just so many variables. It could be so many different things or some combination. It's tough. It's a very demanding game. It's like a foreign language. You can't just go out and start speaking French or whatever.
You got to put some time.
Yeah.
You know what I've always thought about golf, and please answer this, and this is probably a Tom Morton or someone else question out there, and please call 916-339-1140 or the text line and or YouTube, the Chateau. Why does golf swings have to look so unorthodox, uncomfortable?
Because you have to get the club head square to the ball.
But there's not an easier way to do it than looking so uncomfortable.
Well, I know as a baseball player, I know what you mean, but it's really difficult, and you got to groove your swing, and you can't see. I always thought when I started, you take it up here and you take it right through. It's like, no, as David Sutherland taught me, he says it's more like you're swinging down the first baseline. Your swing isn't actually
you're going out.
Yes, because you have to take it back and then out a little, because that's how you get the club head square. It's a ingeniously cruel game, whoever invented it.
So I guess what I'm asking, and again, you don't have all the answers. I'm putting you on the spot here, Mr. Gleason. Has there never been anyone through the dawn of time who's played golf who just goes out there and looks like?
I'm sure there are some. Jason Ross is kind of that way. You ever played with J. Ross?
I've never played. So
yeah,
I've never played.
Well, I mean, if you're on a course with him, whatever. J. Ross strikes me as one of those guys where he hasn't played forever, and he'll go out there and he just start, par. So some people can do it. I think the people that just don't worry about it,
I'm looking for the Happy Gilmore type things. Like, why has no one ever went out there and just hit the ball like Happy Gilmore?
Yeah,
and done well? Why does it always have to look odd? It always looks uncomfortable.
Yeah, I know.
It looks so uncomfortable.
Maybe you can invest with me. We can invent this together. My idea is to invent something called the Fun Club, where you can make this club and give it to anybody. They go to the driving range and they don't have to worry about all the golf stuff, and you just hammer it and the ball goes forever. But it's got to be almost like it's not like a golf club, and I'm trying to figure out how to do that just for fun.
Really?
The Fun Club. Go out there and wail away.
So you pretty much do whatever you could swing it at any length.
Kind of like the baseball bat equivalent of a golf club is what I'm looking for. So anybody can swing a bat or club, can go up there and bam.
But the problem with golf clubs are you're swinging it for different lengths or different pitch, different loft, different
Who's got time for that?
Okay, all right. I'm just trying to check where we going here if I'm invested in this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, all right. Well, I'll follow up with you.
Okay,
we'll have an investors meeting.
Call
here.
my people.
We've had this idea a long time on the drawing board. We haven't gotten very far with it. So
that's fine. That's all right.
Did you see what Sam Amick wrote after Game 1? We know that Game 2 last night, OKC, of course, even up the series. But Sam Amick, who, of course, has been covering the Kings forever, followed up a little bit on the trade, of course, the trade of Haliburton for Sabonis. And he has a quote here from GM Chris Buchanan of the Pacers.
Mm-hmm.
And I also have Kevin Pritchard, who's the architect of the team as well. He said, we didn't really have a guy like a young player that you could really build around. Now, Domas was a terrific player and a very productive player, But we felt like in today's modern NBA, it's hard to build around a center unless you've got like a Jokic, an MVP caliber center. So we tried to target some young guards, playmaking guards around the league that we thought maybe fit the bill. They're very hard to acquire. Obviously, we felt like Tyrese with how we wanted to play. We wanted to build a team in the modern NBA, so on and so on and so on. So I think if that's true, the Kings love having Domas here, but the idea that now that, Fox is gone, so you build around Domas, I don't think it's a viable option. I don't think he's that kind of player, no matter how good he is.
Well, I'll say this.
You can't build around him, Jay.
I think there's a lot of tongue-in-cheek action right there because you don't have Domas anymore.
Yeah.
Meaning the Pacers don't have Domas anymore, so why would you try and make
I see. A little sandbag in there.
Yeah. So I think that's part of it for me. The other part about it is if that's the case, unless it's Jokic, then where's the conversation a year and a half ago about Embiid?
Mm-hmm.
Where's the conversation of guys like that? And Giannis isn't a center, but he's a big guy. Where's the Wemby conversation? Why is no one questioning that you can build around Wemby? I mean, now he did say Jokic, and what was the following sentence after that? Did he say Jokic and guys like that, or what was it?
He said, unless you've got like a Jokic, an MVP caliber center.
Okay, so I guess Embiid is an MVP caliber center because he was the MVP.
Yeah,
is Wemby a MVP caliber center yet?
Everyone expects him to be, but no, he's not yet.
Yeah. How many MVP caliber centers are there?
There's not a lot.
3 and under?
Yeah.
5 and under?
Yeah. Probably not even 5.
Not even 5.
I mean, if we're being honest, Wemby could become that. But that's where the game has changed. That's how the game is more guard-oriented. Look at the 2 best players in the finals right now, point guards.
Right.
Yeah. I'm not saying Domas is terrible. You can't win with him.
No.
I'm just saying if we're going to entertain the notion of, now that, and I think even the Ringer says, they should build around Domas now. I don't think that's a viable option in today's NBA.
Well, if he's your centerpiece, no. But I think if he's your second or third, secondary or your third tier guy, then you are building around him. Again, I say this, I ask again. Zubac isn't their number 1 piece.
No.
He's probably their 3rd piece at this point.
At least, yeah.
Okay. They're close.
Right.
They're right there.
Right.
Wemby's not their piece, and I know they didn't make the playoffs, but people expect them moving forward to make the playoffs.
You're right, but I think the difference is the Kings are kind of looking for that guy now. The Clippers have their guy. They're Kawhi or Harden, whatever, whereas the Kings still need that guy. And so it's time to look around. Is he the guy? I don't think in today's NBA, Domas can be that guy that you build around. That doesn't mean he doesn't help you a great deal, but this idea that, build everything around Domas now, I don't think you can in today's NBA.
Yeah. I'm with you. I'm not sure Denver. It sounds crazy because Jokic is probably the only center, and I think before this past year, Embiid, I think if you would have this conversation, people would say Embiid was someone that Philadelphia has definitely built around, obviously being their guy, Maxey, Paul George. They've always tried to fit people around Joel Embiid. I truly think those are probably the only 2 centers that people have tried to build around within the last, handful of years, going back maybe 5, 6, 7 years. Wemby's probably up next. I'm not sure the Kings are literally trying to build around Domas as far as that's their main star. As you said, they're looking for their top tier guy. They're number 1. They're Ant Edwards. They're Ty Haliburton. Like you said, they're James Harden or Kawhi Leonard or whoever they may be down with the Clippers. I think he can be someone that you build around second or third type star.
Yeah. Now, as far as the Spurs go, there's going to be a lot of talk now. I think increasing talk that the Spurs are going to get KD. I don't know if they are or not. It wouldn't stun me, but I think one reason there's going to be increased feeling along those lines is because Bill Simmons just said, and he was just spitballing. I don't think he knows anything. He said, I wouldn't be surprised if they already have a deal in place and they just haven't announced it yet.
Yeah, whatever. I'm gonna let that podcast.
No, I know. I'm just saying, I think a lot of people, the type of people that post their little watch for this, and this is what I hear, they may hear that and go, ooh, that could be, so I better make it sound like I know that something's up. That's the
sources are telling them.
Yes.
Yeah, because Bill Simmons said it. Yeah, well, first of all, listen, I'm not here to demean or disrespect anybody's show or podcast or anything else. I'm just not the biggest fan of the Bill Simmons podcast. Am I saying he doesn't have sources connected? We all do. Yeah. Absolutely. Right. But I get what you're saying. I definitely believe if he is saying that, we might start to see a couple more whispers.
That's what I'm saying.
Over the next couple of weeks.
Right.
Yeah. KD's probably already going to San Antonio because people will probably look at it and say, well, if Bill is saying that, he might know something.
That's all I'm saying.
You're right, Mr. Gleason.
When we come back, tell you the story of the Indiana TV station. They're apologizing for a rookie mistake, one that might be unforgivable. Might actually be unforgivable if you're a basketball fan. We got that next year from Rancho Murieta. Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
The Sacktown Sports 1140 newsletter right to your email. Get your latest on the Sacramento Kings, Athletics, and Republic FC with the Sacktown Sports 1140 newsletter. Visit sacktownsports.com to join.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave here for Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room, inviting you to come join them every Wednesday for their midweek madness drawing, giving away $2,000 in total cash starting at 6 p.m. It's a safe and friendly environment, plenty of well-lit parking available, and it's conveniently located right there in downtown Sacramento. And remember, best food, best service, best games, 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento. For more information, log on to capital-casino.com and gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
With 25 award-winning years in Northern California, Ashton & Price is your local injury law firm. Pro attorney tip: if a firm presents as local but they're in LA, red flag. If your first consultation is not with a lawyer, big red flag. At Ashton & Price, your first consult is with a local attorney, and if serious injury prevents travel, a lawyer will come to you. Still not enough? George Washington's my uncle. At Ashton & Price, no red flags, just red, white, and blue.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price.
Hey, it's Mike Rohn. If I have a choice, I like to do business with companies that actually stand for something. That's why I switched from Verizon to Pure Talk. No offense to Verizon, I'm sure they stand for something. I just don't know what it is. Pure Talk, on the other hand, is a veteran-owned company that supports our military in a big way, and I appreciate that. Yeah, I also appreciate unlimited talk and text and plenty of data for half the cost of the big guys. And I do like being on America's most dependable 5G network for just $20 a month. But what I really appreciate is no contract, no cancellation fees, and Pure Talk's commitment to handle all their customer service in this country. I saw it for myself. I went to Georgia. I got a tour of their headquarters. I met their CEO, and I talked to the same customer service folks that you'll talk to when you dial pound 250 and say keyword micro. Switch today and save 50% off your first month when you dial pound 250 and say keyword micro. Pure Talk, a wireless company that actually stands for something.
When you're young, life is full of choices. Don't let opioids like highly addictive and deadly fentanyl take away your life with just one wrong pill. Addiction is a disease that can affect anyone at any age. But there is a choice to get help for this disease. Find medically proven treatment options, including virtual, at choosemat.org.
I'm Ken Korak with your Green and Gold Report, brought to you by Comcast Business, powering possibilities. Well, looking for something positive in the midst of a dismal stretch for the A's, center fielder Denzel Clark, finishing his second weekend in the big leagues and playing in his hometown of Toronto, went 4 for 9 with a home run in the last 3 games of the series, and also made a sensational Spider-Man leaping catch over the wall in center field, robbing Alejandro Kirk of a home run. Comcast Business helps turn today's small businesses into engines of modern business. It's how restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. It's how retailers become seamlessly restocking, cyber-securing must-visit shops. And it's how healthcare offices become data-managing caregivers that we all depend on. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, advanced fiber solutions, and Wi-Fi backup, Comcast Business is powering the engine of modern
come across him?
I did not.
On radio,
sadly, I wish I had.
Yeah, both legendary status figures from Vallejo.
That's right. That's right.
There's so many people from Vallejo. When you really sit down and think about it and pay attention, man, Vallejo, as small as it is, has put a lot of people on the map. Yeah,
it's just the location. It's in the middle of a lot of things.
It is. Yeah.
How
did I never asked you this. How did your family originate? How did your family migrate to Vallejo? My
grandmother, she was like 6 years old in the earthquake, 06 earthquake, and the fire. And I think after that, her family, they moved to Vallejo.
Really?
It's like they got out of the city.
Yeah.
And I think my grandfather did the same. I don't know how my dad's family ended up in Vallejo. Yeah.
Wow.
A lot of Bay Area stuff. And then just kind of gravitated
to Vallejo.
Yeah.
A little further out. Then came Fairfield, Sassoon, then Fairfield, then Vacaville. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's interesting, man.
Yeah. And we come to you today from Rancho Murrieta and the Drive for Impact Celebrity Golf Classic. We may have to cheer up Drapes today. It's unfortunate. He says he hasn't been hitting the ball too well today.
Yeah, he hasn't, man. I've gotten a couple texts, and he doesn't sound good, Whitey, I must admit. It just, the last text I told him, as I told you, got to pull it together for the last few. Represent, baby. And nothing from him.
Yeah.
They've been cricket since.
I don't know if they're playing best ball or what, but that's one of the good things about these type of tournaments, assuming that's what they're playing. You could be playing terribly, and if it's your scorecard, you have a terrible round and you can't really fix it. But in this kind of format, hey, you have a couple good holes coming in, you can really give your team a boost.
Yeah, 100%. And hence why I said represent.
Let's
baby.
go.
Just finish the last couple. I don't need you to come over here, sit down, and represent for the drive guys, and then people be, slighted eye looking over at us like, man, that dude, he ain't playing no ball. That's the dude they sent out. If that was the case, we could have sent out Mr. Gleason. So hopefully he can pull it together, because we don't need anybody to be looking down upon us, man, because you choked off the tournament.
Speaking of choking, WPTA, that's ABC's affiliate in Indiana. They are apologizing for Jay. They cut away from Thursday night's game.
Are you kidding me?
With just over a minute left in the fourth quarter. Wow. They cut away.
What did they play?
They played their promo for the 11 o'clock news right in the middle of play.
Are you serious?
We might be able to find it. We could play it for you, but it's right during play. Now, they came back and showed the end, and they did show Haliburton's shot to win it, but they cut away with, coming up tonight at 11. We've got so-and-so with the story of blah, blah, blah. And they showed the weatherman, and it's going to be nice and cool tomorrow. Plus, Pacer fans are at a watch party. That's all coming up. Then they go back to the game.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. And, I don't know if you know this, we're up in Chicago right now, there's some heavy fires in Canada right now.
Oh, okay.
So it's bad air quality up there in the Midwest right now, in Illinois and Indiana and Michigan and surrounding areas, bad air quality. So that's the big thing. Like, you watch the local news, everybody is talking about the air quality up there right now. So that's interesting.
Yeah. Heading into the final minute, OKC was up 110-107. They had possession. Siakam blocked a layup from Shea, and as the Pacers brought the ball up the floor, down 3, it was coming up tonight at 11.
Wow. Dang. WPT what now?
WPTA. And I saw the clip today. Like I said, we may be able to find it for you. The vice president said, "We sincerely apologize for the brief interruption during the NBA game broadcast. This is the finals."
Come on, man. You got to ride this out till the wheels fall off. You don't change this until literally everyone has had their post-game interview.
Right. A technical issue in our master control inadvertently triggered the start of our 11 o'clock p.m. newscast. The issue was resolved within 24 seconds. Viewers were able to see Tyrese Haliburton's game-winning shot. Yeah, when they went back to the game, Indiana had scored, so they missed a basket. It was a 1-point game, but then they showed it the rest of the way.
Wow.
I mean, that's hey, I'm sorry, that doesn't cut it.
No. I don't want anyone to lose their job, right? We don't want anyone to lose their job, especially not in this situation. But man, what happens? What do you do? What is Kevin Gleason, if you are the news director of WPTA, and I'm behind the control room, and I just I flipped the switch, and we went to a news break, a news update. What are you saying to me and our squad?
I think whoever this gentleman is, the Chris Fideli, the VP, he's got to take the bullet, right? You know what? It was an inadvertent technical issue, but I'm the VP. It's on me. Right.
You're the general manager.
Yeah, and then you can imagine the comments on social media. They're going to get. This was Friday when they apologized. I'm sure they're still getting destroyed, and you just got to go. Yep, you're right. You're absolutely right.
Ooh,
won't happen again, but boy, we blew it.
Yeah, that'd be tough, Whitey. I'm not gonna lie to you. Could you imagine? Because you know how it goes. As soon as it's cut off, you're looking.
Yes.
You're checking your phone. Everybody has their phone in their hand at that point in time. You're paying attention.
Well, there's 3 to 5 seconds of sheer panic, right?
Oh,
Like,
absolutely.
Yeah.
What in the hell?
Probably were some TVs destroyed by people throwing things at it.
No doubt about it. Oh my goodness.
Uh-huh.
Wow. That's difficult. That's tough. Because if it's me, I'm with you. What in the hell is going on? What are we doing here? This is amateur hour. Like,
Right.
We're gonna figure it out.
Yeah.
Spencer, and then it comes back and they're winning.
No, they were still losing, but they did miss a basket. It was 110-107, and coming up. That's coming up next. And when they came back, it's 110-109.
Really?
Yeah, so they missed a basket.
So you missed the basket.
Yeah.
Well, I guess you got to see the game winner.
Oh, it could have been worse, but let's face it, it was terrible. Yeah. It was really, really bad.
What basket was that? Was that a Neesmith? Was that the going to the cup? Was that Neesmith?
The one they missed?
Yeah.
I think it was. I think it was a Siakam basketball. I'm not sure.
Got you. Okay.
I have to double check that.
Ooh,
anyway, yeah. And then the other thing is, if you're that guy and you got to realize, wow, this is awful, but it could have been so much worse.
Yeah. Oh no. I mean, could you imagine if you're still in the news breaking Tyrese
station loses its license? They're dark the next day.
It's all over. It is literally all over. Quick, fast, in a hurry. Just cancel it.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, I tell you, it'd be super interesting.
Yeah.
Wow.
Spencer Lampkins asks about Heidi. Have you ever heard of the Heidi game?
Yes. Yeah. I have. Yeah. Long time ago.
Yeah, which was the Jets and the Raiders, and it was a game that was going late, and they cut to the movie, which was Heidi, and they missed the tremendous Raider comeback. 3 touchdowns in 2 minutes or something like that.
Yeah,
so after that, supposedly everybody learned in 1968 that you don't do that.
Dang.
But we needed a little refresher, I guess.
Wow. There's no way. There is no way. I'd be pissed to the utmost. But it wasn't the end game. It wasn't the final basket. It wasn't the end. It wasn't all she wrote. So I guess there was a reprieve. There is something that you possibly could.
Yeah, a little bit. And then it sounds like you're with me, feeling like I know that everybody has Haliburton and Pacer fever, but I still don't see him coming back and winning this series.
No.
Even the great Jerry Reynolds, I would never disagree with Jerry. Okay. He said Friday, it's like, I think Indiana can win this series.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
The legend.
Yes. Of course, he's got a little Hoosier in him.
Oh, yeah, that's very true. Tap his blood a little bit. Yeah, prick his finger. You prick his finger, he might find a little bit of situation of Indiana in.
Yeah.
Man, anything is possible, right? We know that.
Right.
As KG, to steal the words from KG, anything is possible.
Mm-hmm.
But I think if I'm, and this is thinking with my head, it's OKC. And I picked them in a gentleman's sweep. I thought it'd go 4-1.
Mm-hmm.
It's looking probably closer to a 4-2. But the Pacers have a shot. Small slim percentage.
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to think of a number to ask you. 25%, but that may even be too high if I'm hearing where you're coming from.
Yeah,
Okay.
in my opinion.
Yeah.
We'll see. I mean, I was wrong about game 1.
15%, 10%, where you at?
8%.
Man, you don't give them a shot, huh?
A little bit.
What happens if they go back to OKC tied 1-1?
Well,
excuse me, 2-2.
2-2, like you said, 6. Oh, no, you said 5. Huh?
I said
Drape said
sweep.
6, pardon me. Yeah.
Give me the gentleman sweep.
Mm-hmm.
So you got them at 6.
Yeah.
8% doesn't say 6. You got them losing the next 3 games, I'm up.
Yeah, we'll see. I want to enjoy it. I'm trying to enjoy it. My original pick was 5.
So yeah, gentleman sweep too.
Yeah,
it's almost over, Whitey.
Yeah,
you can smell it.
Mm-hmm.
It's in the air. It's almost over.
Yeah, when we come back, the Celtics are listening to offers for Drew Holiday. Should the Kings make one? And there's another Celtic that may be available, and the Celtics may be making it worth your while to take him. Should the Kings bite on any of that? We're back with more on that and more from Rancho Murrieta. Drive Guys, Sacktown Sports.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hot summer savings explode at Maida's Elk Grove Chevy. Save $12,000 off MSRP after rebates. Every new 2025 Silverado half-ton LT and RST in stock. Maida Chevy has similar savings on every new Silverado. One of the largest selections in the Sacramento area. $12,000 off new Silverado exclusively at the Maida Chevy Silverado Supercenter. Now that's big, huge. See them all at MaidaChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
Less rating 2011 or newer. Not available with special financing, lease, and some other offers.
Alan Stiles here with your Sacktown Sports Injury Update, brought to you by Downtown LA Law Group. Shea Langoliers exited a game last week after experiencing discomfort following a swing. The A's will have more information as to the severity of the injury after he undergoes further testing. Miguel Andujar, out with that right oblique strain, suffered it during a swing as well. He will be out a couple weeks, if not longer, per the A's Director of Sports Medicine and Rehabilitation, Brian Shulman. That was your Sacktown Sports Injury Update, brought to you by Downtown LA Law Group. Hey, I'm Alan Stiles. Have an injury? Call Downtown. Downtown LA Law Group, an injury law firm, has many happy clients in Sacramento and the surrounding areas who have called Downtown. Get paid for your injuries from slip and falls or auto accidents. One of their most recent settlements was $1.5 million for a motorcycle accident. Have you had an auto accident? Call Downtown. Text injury help to 40222. That's injury help to 40222 and visit them at calldowntown.com.
Skeeter here. Got a question. What's small and dark with white bands on its legs and bites during the day?
Mosquitoes. Hi, I'm Luz Maria Robles, but these are two new types of day-biting mosquitoes. They're invading our area and becoming a big problem.
And they can be dangerous.
But we're on it, so when you see them, report it at fightthebite.net. In the meantime, use insect repellent and drain stagnant water around your yard.
We're here to help with these day-biting mosquitoes.
Visit us at fightthebite.net.
KHTK HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, Sacktown Sports 1140.
So we should have some of the luminaries who are attending today coming by our broadcast post. We're coming to you from the banquet room where Jay is not excited about all the Giants.
No. And it's a nice stuff. Why I had the opportunity to actually walk over, take a peek at a few more different pieces. And I saw Riley Fingers over.
That's right.
Catfish is over there. Got to see some Fred Warners on this side. As you talked about, CMC, Jerry Rice, so there we got some true dignitaries posted up against the wall. One thing about it is I respect pretty much everybody over there, Hall of Famer, no doubt about it. Maybe minus Taylor Swift, but you're not going to take my dig. So I respect the Jack Tatum, Kenny Sabers, Snakes guys like that. All due respect to the Raiders jerseys and uniforms here, man, because those guys are some of the best. Fred Littenkoff was over there. I mean, just some fantastic pieces. If you had an opportunity to come out, you got your eye on anything. If you had drugs.
It's like a large Sports Illustrated Dwight Clark cover.
I saw that.
And DC signed it.
I saw that.
That definitely caught my eye.
Yeah. By the way, you know what else caught my eye?
You're being a baseball guy. I wanted to run this by you.
There's a guy there that has a beautiful swing. There's a picture of him, it's autographed, and he's not a guy you typically think of as having a great swing. He was more known for his glove. Brandon Crawford had a beautiful swing.
Yeah, he did. I saw that on the left side over there. Yeah, I did see that. Again, the Giants uniform.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah, no.
And he had some successes, obviously.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, one of the best to do it at shortstop. You got to give him his just. One thing about it is, I crack a joke here, but when it's all serious about it, first of all, the Giants have been, and it sounds crazy because a lot of people over the last couple of years probably haven't called them this. They've been a model organization for California. And I say that in the form of they've represented California for a very long time, especially coming from the East Coast.
Right.
Second part of that, too, is they've had some of the greatest ball players, Stretch, Willie Mays, which is Willie McCovey, guys like that come through here. And Juan Marichal, absolutely. Just, the Luz and the Bonds family. And just so many great players and people come through the Giants organization. You got to give them love.
Yeah.
You definitely do. Now, that's all the good you're going to come out and talk about this.
I will just make this point and we'll move back to basketball. You've got the Giants right now. They're ready to play the Rockies. And the Rockies, are having an abysmal year.
Yeah.
The Dodgers and the Padres were right there with the Giants at the top.
In the West. They're playing each other the next three. So if the Giants take care of their business against the Rockies next few games, they're going to gain ground on somebody, Jay.
Yeah, they are. But the Rockies are hot right now.
They are for them. They're sizzling.
They're sizzling right now.
Yes.
Absolutely. Just swept who they just sweep last week?
Oh, they swept the Marlins.
The Marlins, yeah. That's not saying a lot, but yeah, they swept the Marlins and doing well. So hopefully, I'm thinking they can win this series.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm
a
wishing
sweep
upon
for the
a star.
Rockies right now. I don't care if it's the Lincoln Padres. It's like we're going. That's nice. With Phantom on the call. So I don't care who it is. Sweep's a sweep for the Rocks right now.
You're taking any broom you can get, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, 100%. I'm with you.
We have, let's see here, from Campy wondering, is Draper still on the golf course? Yeah, Drape's out there.
Yeah, it should be. This is according to I'm getting updates. Everyone is pretty much on their last two holes, which was last segment. So I would imagine everybody's probably pushing towards their last hole. And then seeing a couple guys starting to pull up, some dignitaries here. And we'll have them here shortly. But I believe Draper is still on the course because he hasn't texted me. He hasn't texted me.
I'm just glad that means the buzzards didn't get him.
Yeah,
so I'm relieved about that.
You may have been right, though, because
sounds like it.
You may have been right.
Well, that guy get on that hole in 11. Let's keep an eye on him. I don't know if he's going to make it.
There's definitely some issues for Draper coming through this 18 golf, this tournament here. I don't know. One thing about Draper's golf game.
Yeah.
Is it can't be as bad as he says it is, right?
I'll bet.
Because he's playing a lot.
I'll bet it's both. I bet it just runs the gamut. There's times when he's like just striping it. And then there's times when the wheels aren't even here. They fell off a long time ago. What, are you
Before
okay?
I came out the parking lot.
I haven't seen him just from the way he describes it.
Right.
Because I've been that way myself on the golf course where, there's times when it's like, I can't do anything wrong. And then I don't even remember how to hit the ball. I'm just up there trying to make contact, Jay. I'm just trying to get a piece of it. I've been there at the golf course too.
It's sitting still.
Yeah,
really?
I know. I'm just trying to keep it in play, move the runner along. It's a hard game.
Is that why you? I won't say you giving it up, but have you just steered towards other things in your life? Has it just timing? What has gotten you off the golf course?
It's just the commitment. Once you get away from it, it's hard. It's a wonderful, wonderful game. It takes a lot of time. And it takes more than a little money.
Yeah.
And I just kind of other things going on. Next thing you know, man, I haven't played in months. But like a little hip here, a little back there, and yeah.
Would you give it a go one more time?
Yeah, I would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When's the last time you striped something?
Been a while.
Talking over a year?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. But I will. You've talked me into it.
Yeah, man. You got to give it a go. If you go out, I'll come out with you. Now, I'm not going to play, You know, I'll ride shotgun with you.
Oh, you got to play. You got to at least hit a couple shots.
And I don't even know where to even start to go get.
I took lessons also from the great Tom Morton.
Really?
So yes, he's a good teacher.
Tom Morton's been he has touched everybody in this area, right?
Yes.
When it comes to golf,
Everybody
that I've ever talked to is like, oh man, go see Tom.
Yeah. Oh, he's great.
It's like go see
He's
Cal.
got
go
that
get a
gift.
car.
He can see and go, no. Here, do this. I mean, he's just got that knack.
Wow, great
Yeah.
teacher,
Mm-hmm.
man.
Mhm.
Ron Washington.
Yep.
Ron Washington of the
Yep.
Sacramento golf scene.
Jay, I know we've
Love
talked
it.
a lot about the Kings and the Celtics, Now we got some of these quote unquote reports today. The Celtics, and I think this is Evan Sittery, the Celtics are listening to offers for Drew Holiday. So should the Kings make one? There's also another one of these reports. Actually, that's Jake Fisher, pardon me. Jake Fisher says the Celtics, quote, most definitely listening on trade calls for Drew Holiday. And then somebody else is reporting that Kristaps Porzingis, the Celtics want to get out from under his deal. It's an expiring. It's worth a lot of money. But the speculation, again, this is, well, some sources think that the Celtics would give you draft compensation if you take Porzingis, take his contract, and we will make it worth your while by giving you some kind of draft compensation. Should the Kings be involved in any of that? Porzingis, Drew Holiday.
Hell yeah. Why not? Why wouldn't you be? Why wouldn't you, if you're Scott Perry, if you're BJ Armstrong, if you are the brass of the Sacramento Kings, Whitey, my phone would never be off.
Mm-hmm.
I would have a conversation with my significant other and say, hey, listen, with me taking this job, the first initial summer, I'm talking to everybody and I'm listening to everybody, because one thing about it is Scott has been out the league for a few years, a year and a half, 2 years. BJ Armstrong's been out the league for a couple of years, even though he's been an agent in many different capacities. What I'm saying is I need to get back acclimated. We're talking about you getting back acclimated with golf.
4 left.
I'm taking every single text, email, call, my assistant, my phone. Matter of fact, I'm going to get 5 phones.
So are you telling me,
take a fax?
Would you go so far as to tell your wife, unless you get a job in the player personnel department with Memphis, I'm not talking to you for 2 weeks?
You better not do that. Let me tell you. Yeah, not my wife. My wife is a firecracker.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I met her.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. But what she put on the front when she met you. So
Oh, really?
Yeah, she'd pick a low Pete, man. She'd pick a low Pete, you know? But no, I'm just playing. I will say this. You should talk to everyone. You should to get your feet back wet. I want to know what everyone costs. I want to know
I see what you're saying.
everybody is worth right now.
I see what you're saying.
I want to know what my guys are worth.
Right.
You know, I want to barter right now.
Yeah. I know that I've been guilty of with a lot of these players saying nope. But I understand your point. There is no right now. It doesn't mean you're going to do it, but I'm in on everything just to see what it's going to cost me and where I am.
Yeah, because every year is different. You know that, Whitey. You've been around the game a long time. You've been around sports a long time. Everything is consistently changing. It's like gas prices. You ever slide through and take your Lamborghini that you drive and you go over to Chevron down the street and you look up and it's $472.
Hey, a 409 last night.
What?
That's not bad. Yes.
Wow, where was that?
Yeah, that was on Madison Arco.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh man,
Bobby knows.
409?
Yeah.
Really? Oh man. I need to check. I drove by today. I saw 429, 426. I was like, wow, wait a minute. We're coming down a bit.
Yeah.
We're celebrating 409. That's sad. But
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt your story, but I just want to get that in there.
You take your Lamborghini over to Chevron, you see 475, right, Mr. Gleason? You look over at Mrs. Gleason and say, you know what, let's go ahead and fill up today. And then you go home, you wake up in the morning, and then you jump in your Maserati, because I know you got a couple cars over there. And Mrs. Gleason and say, hey, you know what? Babe, can you go fill up my car for me real quick? I have to make it over to the job site. Don't have the time. You're still getting dressed, and you pull over to that same Chevron, and you look up, and that gas is $4.86.
Yeah,
went up 11 cents.
Hey, what happened?
What happened?
Yeah,
right? What happened? Things change consistently. The price today is not the price tomorrow. The price that was yesterday is not the price today, right? So I want to call. I want to know the value of everybody in the league, right?
Yeah.
And as crazy as it sounds, I know people are gonna say, "Man, Jay, you tripping?" I'm calling on Giannis. What is it talk? I just want to know.
I get it.
Yeah,
I do.
How much does he cost?
Mm-hmm.
Do I need to send over, the street sign too? I want to know, what is it going to cost? Are we even in the ballpark? Are we even in the discussion? Because you know how it goes, Whitey. You may call on Giannis, and they may say, "Nah, but you know what? We got Bobby for you. We got Bobby Portis." And I like what you're talking about. Let's start there.
Yeah.
Sometimes things like that happen.
I see what you mean. It's not a situation where a surgical approach is the wisest. It's not like, well, I want to go with this guy because he's this, very precise. It's more like, let's just talk to everybody about everything and see what we got there.
You ever heard the
Then we
expression,
can decide
throwing
what to do.
everything against the board?
Mm-hmm.
Throw everything against the board right now. Right now, throw everything that you can, and let's see where the chips fall. That's where I'm at. And, of course, we know we might not have the assets to go get Giannis, but I'm just saying, just so you know in the future, who's to say if Giannis is the high price, possession this summer, what does Cam Johnson cost now? Maybe that price has changed.
Yeah, it makes sense. I'd never thought of that, honestly. That was not the approach I was taking, but I understand it. Doesn't mean that you're going to get any of those guys, but
absolutely
doesn't
not.
hurt to check.
Man, I'm calling everybody.
Yeah, more on that when we come back. Also, fans complained, so the NBA trophy logo was back on the court last night. Or was it? Next from Rancho Murrieta Drive Guys, Sacktown Sports.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
If you've got a gas-powered engine, keep it running like new at every fill-up. Stable in-season protection is your engine's preventative medicine, cleaning and protecting the entire fuel system in season. In outdoor power equipment, prevent gum and varnish buildup that could cause a rough or non-running engine. For cars and trucks, increase fuel efficiency and power by removing deposits, ensuring your engine's long-term health. Stable outperforms the competition in independent lab testing. So at every fill-up, start with Stable.
The only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Sacktown Sports.
Drive Guys coming at you from Rancho Murrieta, the Drive for Impact Celebrity Golf Classic. I'm going too fast because I'm so excited because Jay says he just saw the scores coming in.
Well, no, I have a little birdie has told me we are locked in. The tournament director of Rancho Murrieta, this is the room where the guys and gals, I should say, the players, the participants will be turning in their scorecards. So we have a little inside information here, buddy. I'm trying to get on the end. I might slide a 20 over, see if we can get some scores posted on air here as people want to know.
Mm-hmm. And from what you've gleaned, it's going to take a while to add up all the Drapers.
Yes.
Strokes.
Yeah. Drapes is on the mend.
He'll be fine.
Matter of fact, as soon as Kyle's score comes in, can we get that information? Kyle Draper. We got some inside information.
Okay.
We got live scoring.
Live scoring.
Ooh.
Yeah.
See?
Once again, the event today is a benefit here. It supports victims of human trafficking, domestic violence, and hardship. It's a Drive for Impact Celebrity Golf Classic, and there's some celebrities here that are finishing up their rounds, and we expect to be talking to a handful of them, including our own Kyle Draper, who should be joining us once he's completed his rounds. And circling back to something we said earlier, Jay, once again, I did not realize, you said you were surprised to find out that Sacramento is apparently a real trouble spot when it comes to human trafficking, which just stunned me.
It did. Me as well. It definitely did. And these are great opportunities Drive for Impact tournament, Kyle Draper being a part of it. I know you've played in many different tournaments throughout your legendary career. These are the things that really, pay dividends.
Yeah.
These are the things that bring the awareness to it. Because just sometimes to solve a problem, you have to know there is a problem.
Yeah.
Right.
It sure made me aware of it.
It definitely. As I said, I've recently come across that we are a high percentage area of human trafficking. We have a lot of human trafficking going on throughout. And I'll be completely honest, Whitey, I've seen, and you know who I need to text, who's on top of this, like he is on a lot of things, Antonio Ray Harvey.
Really?
Yeah, me and Tone have had a conversation about this, and Tone is down at the state capitol just about every single day. As much as he's covering the Kings, he covers the community-based topics for Sacramento, and he has talked to me about a bill coming across to help human trafficking here in this area and the different races that are affected by human trafficking in our area. So Drive for Impact is great, beautiful idea for doing it. Shouts out to Ken Burns, tournament director, for putting it together. Ken will be joining us as well today.
Yeah, we're just, as I said earlier, just really happy to be playing just a small role in all of this. Thrilled to be out here today. Looking forward to talking to the celebrities. Looking forward to talking to Kyle Draper.
Yeah, I just the tournament director of Rancho Murrieta, she was just right behind us. If you didn't had an opportunity to see on YouTube, she said there is live scoring going on right now, and so I'm getting ready to maybe next break to peek over and see what Kyle Draper's score is right now. Miss Annabelle in front of us, as we got to find out how our boy is hitting them right now.
Yeah.
And I'm interested because we're gonna have Kenny Thomas. We're gonna talk about KT's score. Odin Polynice. OP's gonna have a lot to say. Tony Tiger Lopez, love him. Greg Vine, friend of the show. We got a bunch of people that's going to join us. We got to see what some of these guys are shooting today.
The thing about golf, Jay, one of the things about golf, there are so many things about golf. You play around and you could play not a good round, but if you had one good shot, one time you pure a 7-iron or something,
really,
that brings you back the next time.
Really?
Because you're like,
one shot?
I was terrible, but I pured that 7 coming in on the 8th hole. Really? It gets
you
in
remember the whole.
Yes. You hit one. It's like, I can do it.
Really?
Yes. And you imagine what it's like if you could do that more often. Yeah. Campy's inviting you to come out. He says, you being a former baseball player, you would do well in golf. You're hitting a stationary ball. Then he says, I would give you a lesson if you're willing to take a lesson.
Lesson meaning, what my is a lesson and he's going to help me.
I think he teach you.
Oh, okay. All right. He's going to instruct me. Yeah.
He's offered to do a lot of things. I think he offered to fix my lawnmower. Seriously, I think he
is all around gentleman.
Yes, he's a real Renaissance man. Jay, I don't know why exactly, but a lot of people complained after watching Game 1 of the Finals because the NBA didn't have a Finals logo at center court and they didn't have the trophies on the court. I didn't notice that.
Right.
I don't really care, but a lot of people were very upset. The commissioner addressed it yesterday and said, we may have to go back to that in future years. But last night, what they did was they superimposed the trophy.
Yeah.
It was on the floor, but it really wasn't.
Yeah, that's terrible.
I hate that.
That's terrible. Listen, let me tell you something. First of all, the court didn't look naked without any emblems or any trophies or any finals, anything.
It is the finals. I get it.
Yeah,
I didn't really notice, but I understand.
Gotta spice that up.
Because celebrate it.
Yes. On top of the Emirates Cup had all kind of different.
Well, there you go. So, they had their own courts. You're right.
You can't be outdone by the Emirates court.
That's a good point.
Yeah. So that's an issue. But to superimpose, do you think it was a because it was so much heat, and of course on vacation I'm paying attention a little bit, but there was a lot of heat on the NBA not having anything. Did you think it was a response by the NBA?
That was the impression I got. Yeah.
Got you.
But it was dreadful. There was one shot early on where they start the game, and I don't know if this was on TV or someone else just took this shot. There was a fan waving a flag, an OKC flag.
Okay.
And so when they waved it in front of the logo was on the flag. See, because
because it was screen type.
Yeah, it was like
Did you guys talk about this on Thursday? Or
we
Friday?
really didn't.
When did you think it was a big deal?
I wasn't until I saw the stupid thing they did last night and realized, wow, they must feel like they had to respond to all the criticism, which I guess there was a high volume of criticism after game one.
It seemed that way. It definitely seemed like it was a big deal. Anything is better than those two little rinky-dink trophies. I mean, come on. And maybe it's an OKC thing. Maybe we'll see it when it goes to Indianapolis.
Yeah.
We might see a better floor, better design, some colored splashes of anything. But the Emirates Cup, as you said, they had their own created courts. How do anything?
Remember, we talked to Jason Jones about that. Every team had their own court
That's
for
right.
it,
I forgot
for the stinking mid-season tournament.
Man.
The commissioner said when he talked to reporters over the weekend, he said, well, some players complain that where we painted the finals logos, it was slippery. And my first thought was, nope, that is not true. I don't believe that for a second.
Yeah, that's not it. No, that's definitely
because if that was the case, like you say, for the Emirates Cup, people would be sliding all over the place.
Especially with those slippery floors, yeah. And there's always something that people have overlooked when it comes to such big events.
Yeah, I understand it, and I see where you're coming from. I hadn't noticed it, and I'm surprised how upset people got. But the thing is, those are your customers. The fans are your customers.
That's true.
And if they want something from you, it's not that hard to give it to them.
That is true. I mean, how quickly could you have put a couple of decals on the floor? Just fast, right?
Right.
And instead of being it superimposed. That's it, because people are at the games with social network and telephones and so many different avenues to see things in person. You knew people were going to catch it so quick, and it just looks like a rinky-dink, a cover, a patch up, and that's what you don't want on your biggest stage. This is your biggest stage if you're the NBA, more or less. You don't want to superimpose anything on the court. Just put a few decals.
I don't even like that, and it's widespread now when. You have advertisements on the court that aren't really there. True. And you see that a lot.
Yeah, definitely.
For a lot of games, local, national, whatever. Not a big fan of that.
No, I'm with you on that. For me, it's not the biggest
It's business.
deal.
I know, it's just business.
Is, right? It's very true. Come on, Whitey, you know how it is, baby. Napoleon, baby.
Yeah. So, would you trade DeMar DeRozan for Porzingis if the Celtics said, and we'll also give you a draft pick down the road? I have to tell you, Saturday I was doing the show with Emran, and we were talking about your hot Kings takes. Emran was giving away tickets to the Soderstrom signing, and Will called in because he just heard us talking about Kings, and he was like, Whitey, I like you, but you got to stop talking about trading DeRozan. He was not happy. He said, I hear some of the other guys do it. Now I hear you do it. You can't do that.
Yeah. I like what Porzingis looks like on paper, but if it's me, I think here in Sacramento we're undervaluing DeMar. And when I say that in the form of he's still playing at a high caliber, if you took DeMar, and this is, I think someone has said this before, and I don't remember who it was who joined the show, if you took DeMar's name off his stats, people be all in love with certain things that he does.
Yeah, you're probably right.
It's the fact of who he is. And so
but it's who he is and the way he plays.
Yeah. Well, who he is or who plays, same situation. But I'll say this, Whitey. I like DeMar a little more than I like Porzingis. If Porzingis was healthy, then sign me up.
The other thing
is
is
DeMar's bringing more to the table than Porzingis.
And I know Boston has, they were great. Won a championship 2 years ago. This year, they were really good. We don't know what they're going to be, but whatever draft pick they're going to give me, I have to look at their draft capital. I don't think they're going to give me a very good draft pick.
No,
yeah,
absolutely
so
not.
I don't think that'd be worth my while.
Yeah, no, I'm with you.
Drew Holiday, I'm warming up to that because the more I think about it, the Kings are going to run it back this year, whether I want them to or not. And if you're going to run it back, let's talk about Drew Holiday. I don't know if you get him, but let's talk about it.
He's the bridge. He's the bridge to the other side right now.
I guess so.
He's not the future, but he's the bridge.
Right.
He comes in, stabilizes for a couple of years, and he moves on. Probably has one finale, one hurrah with another team on the championship level to try to get one more before he gets out. I'm okay with Drew for sure. No, let me say that better. I would love for Drew to be here. It's him at 34. He's probably looking at a situation that's going to allow him to play for a championship within the next 2 or 3 years.
Yes.
I'm not sure he gets that here unless he's like, listen, because he is a 2-time champ, right? He's got one in Milwaukee. He's got twice. So,
right.
Yeah, just trying to make sure I didn't miss a third or fourth.
Mm-hmm.
He's a 2-time champ. He may say, listen, I'm playing for the bag now, or maybe I'm playing for something a little different, or maybe this is where, I want to be. I want to be closer to California. Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
You heard Chris Paul say he wants to be closer to his family at this point.
Right.
So
I'm not that far from LA, Chris Paul.
Yeah, he's right down the street.
Guess.
Yeah. The bridge.
Yeah.
He's the bridge.
Drew Holiday, I don't think the team is good enough for him to really help me as much as he can. And even if he comes in and helps me establish the culture, he's not going to be here that long. Because, I don't think someone could come in for like a year or two and establish your culture.
Right.
Right.
I understand.
You know what I mean, right?
That.
Absolutely.
I understand. Yeah. I think
how are you?
I think it's
that's
Ken Burns. That's the man with the plan. He'll be
coming
up here next before we take a break. I think it's for me, I don't mind anyone being a bridge if we have a plan down the road. That's me. If we're looking to unload DeMar for something that we're going to be able to spend or utilize in the future, I would like it to be a little bit better than Kristaps Porzingis.
We're at the Drive for Impact Celebrity Golf Classic. We'll talk to the tournament director. Ken's going to join us next year from Rancho Murrieta on Sacktown Sports.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Fidium Fiber.
I'm Dirk Verdorn in the KCRA3 Weather Center, and mainly clear skies are going to stay with us overnight tonight, with temperatures eventually dropping off into the upper 50s by Tuesday morning, but then more sunshine and daytime highs pushing into the upper 80s to lower 90s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA3 News and the KCRA3 app.
It's about time they
fix that pothole.
Invented better windshield wipers.
Made an internet that just works. Fidium Fiber Internet, starting at only $30 a month. It feels like Fidium. Offer available to residential customers only. Terms and conditions apply. See Fidium.com for details.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
I had the chance to interview former professional golfer and broadcaster Gary McCord a few years back. He hadn't yet enraged the Green Jackets with his television comments about their revered Georgia golf course. He was welcoming and above all humorous, which is why I recently picked up a copy of his book, Golf for Dummies by Gary McCord, a man possessed by golf's magical allure. This 5th edition will help new golfers learn the basics of the game and bring them, as he writes, from the darkness to the light. The book discusses types of clubs, types of courses, how to hit the ball, and how to keep score. The intent is to help you get the ball to the hole in fewer tries and with better form. You'll even find some basic exercises to get you into golf shape. It's a fun read and will help you get over some of the game's intimidation while getting you ready to visit the golf course on your own or with some friends. I always recommend a good PGA professional to guide you along the way, but Golf for Dummies is a fun way to approach a fun game. That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
Are you thinking about buying a new car? Well, maybe you're on the fence. Let me help you out. Kyle Draper here from Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. From the first time I stepped into the MP of Stockton showroom, I knew I made the right choice. I settled on the all-electric EQS SUV. It's comfortable, stylish, and most importantly, it's safe. Mercedes-Benz has the reputation of making the finest cars in the world. Now it's your turn to experience what I already know. Mercedes-Benz of Stockton is the best car buying experience you'll ever have. It's just a short drive down I-5 or anytime at mbfstockton.com.
Get ready for a night out with Jordan Davis. It's Country in the Park 2, Saturday, September 13th at Cal Expo. Along with the special guests Mitchell Tenpenny, Low Cash, Vincent Mason, and Abriana. Make it a family day out with food trucks, games, dancing, and more. Saturday, September 13th at Cal Expo with Michelob Ultra. Tickets are available now at CITPFest.com.
If your passion is bass fishing, only one radio show has the action, information, and excitement of your favorite outdoor sport. Ultimate Bass, hosted by Tournament Bass Pro and California Outdoor Hall of Famer Kip Brown, takes you live to where the fish are biting every Saturday morning. Only Ultimate Bass feeds your passion with the latest news, products, tips, and advice from the pros. Ultimate Bass with Kip Brown, Saturday mornings at 5 a.m. on Sacktown Sports 1140, part of SEP's Saturday Morning Outdoors.
Come check out Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room with the most variety of table games in the region in a safe and friendly environment. Plenty of well-lit parking available, conveniently located in downtown Sacramento. And remember, Capital Casino has the best food, the best service, and the best action. 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento. For more information, log on to capital-casino.com, and please gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hagen Oaks wants to be your go-to total golf game fitter. Try the TrackMan experience, the very best technology to fit your metalwoods and irons. The new cutting-edge putter fitting studio with its $30,000 worth of technology is ready for your fitting. Hagen Oaks will help you find the best putter for your game. Hagen Oaks offers more technology, more choices, and more service. Schedule your fitting at the Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio by calling 916-808-2531, 808-2531 for more.
Live and local, it's the Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/SacktownSports1140.
Or listen on the Sacktown Sports app.
We're coming to you today from the Drive for Impact Celebrity Golf Classic at Rancho Murrieta. It's Whitey and Jay. Kyle Draper on the course. Says he has 2 holes left, Jay.
Yeah, it looked like we got a little inside information from our next guest.
It's a pleasure to have him on. We appreciate him having us out here today. Tournament director of the Drive for Impact Celebrity Golf Classic, founder of Drive for Impact, Ken Burns. How are you today, Ken?
I'm doing great. Everybody's having a good time, and it's been entertaining to watch Kyle hit a golf ball.
Really? Has it been like 4? You scramble for cover?
You wish it was 4. It has to go off the ground or you're 4.
Wow, Ken. So if I'm asking, he's hitting ground balls today.
No, I'm fibbing.
It sounds like Drapes is coming down to the last couple of courses, and you've had an opportunity to see him today. So, of course, we're going to ask our fellow Drive guy. But just having Kyle be a part of this, what does that mean for you?
It was massive for us because one of the biggest things that we're needing to do with the organization is to get more and more awareness. You know, we were talking a few minutes ago, and you guys didn't even realize that it's number 4 in the United States. And that's in the United States. You said, number 4, what, in the area? No, in the United States. So when you get things like this and other things that we're doing and the celebrities that are coming, more and more people are becoming aware of what's going on. And that's where it has to be important.
Yeah, the event supporting and Drive for Impact supporting victims of human trafficking, domestic violence, and hardship. When you say number 4 in the United States, we're talking about human trafficking, right?
Yeah, we're talking human trafficking. It's the amount of kids that from, all ages. Some adults, but 16, 13, you got to be smart today. 4 girls go to the mall today and 1 goes to the bathroom. They all got to go. Different things like that. There's no more like when we grew up where you could go to your mom and say, go to the park, be home before it gets dark. You can't do that anymore. Everything has to be. You don't want to scare them on a regular basis, but you want to scare them. And I always tell people I want to punch them in the nose, but don't make them bleed. Let them understand they got to be aware.
Got to be aware.
Wow.
Yes.
Joined by Ken Burns, tournament director, and of course, founder of the contest. Beside today, Ken, what else are you putting forth when it comes to the impact and your organization?
Well, our first most successful one was back in January, and what our goal is to do an awareness seminars. So we're really becoming a great partnership with the El Dorado County Sheriffs, Sacramento County Sheriffs, where we did a full day seminar. We had them bring their internet team to show the parents all the things on the internet that they need to stay away from, and even ones that kind of sneak around. We teaching them how to get away from the AI. When we had a girl that was 14 years old, and the sheriffs had 2 40-year-old men that made themselves look like they were 17.
Wow! And
they spent 3 days on a chat with her and actually got her to meet them at the park. Now, obviously, for her, it was a good thing and a lesson, but it's really showing everybody that you have to be smarter. You really do.
That's Ken Burns, tournament director and founder of Drive for Impact. Has it gotten increasingly worse in recent years, or is this something that's always been there and we just are becoming more aware of it?
Well, I think what's happened is obviously in the world of internet and everything else going on, I think it's probably been magnified because it's a lot easier to reach people.
Sure.
Back in the day when they couldn't get a hold of somebody, but now you can, chats, Snapchat, all these different types of things that are out there.
All those different tentacles.
Yeah, tentacles. There's much more opportunities for them to meet people. I mean, there was a kid in El Dorado Hills that was 17 years old, and he was going to a party, and he was dragging a girl out to the front, and she tried to throw her into a car, waiting with his uncle. There's a lot of things where you just have to be smart. So yes, I don't know, but I don't believe that it's worse. I just believe it's more magnified today because of the internet.
Ken, a lot of times when you have situations like some of the things that you're talking about, and girl dad. Yeah, speaking to two girl dads here, you have those type of situations. We as men sometimes we miss the fact that these things can happen to a male as well. Speak to that situation as well.
There's obviously, it's not as prevalent, but it's obviously out there.
Yeah.
I was talking to him, even when it comes to as a male, a 17-year-old boy, he's like, don't worry about that stuff. I said, yeah, well, you have 2 younger sisters. You want to become aware of their environment and what they have going on, because a lot of times siblings will support each other and talk to each other a lot more than they will their parents. So it's definitely not one-dimensional, but the biggest part is the female world.
Jeremy Affeldt pitched for the Giants.
Of course.
I know he is active in fighting human trafficking. When he was a young boy, he was somewhere in another country, and he said someone grabbed him and he got away, and he said his whole life would have been totally different if he hadn't been able to get away. So he's an advocate for people who've had to deal with this. I wanted to ask you, Ken, you raise money with events like this, and I've read about this, but could you explain to our audience, what are some of the things that the money goes to? How does the money raise in events like today's? How does it help you guys to fight back?
As we're growing, it allows us to have our seminars, and then our goal is to be in every county. So next month we're going to be in Tahoe, and we're going to spend days there. Tahoe.
There's our friend.
And other avenues. We do a lot of support with the sheriffs. We help them with feeding them at different events. We've supported them with binoculars, nighttime binoculars with really good video cameras on them. Any way we can get out there. We've had a couple of situations where we've helped with therapy as we're growing, and then but most of it just goes to help everything really.
Joined by Ken Burns, tournament director and founder of Drive Impact. Ken, some of the why we love to come out to some of these type of events is, first of all, to bring more awareness and be a part of our community. Second part of it is we love to come out and have fun. This is a great tournament. This is definitely something that is fun. This is something that you're utilizing as a tool to bring awareness. What made you create a golf tournament compared to a celebrity softball game or, a celebrity basketball game? Why a golf tournament?
Well, for me, with golf, everybody can play it. When people come out here, they'll tell you, I can't play golf. You don't have to be a good golfer to be here. There are people out there that are playing for the first time. There are, there are females that are out there. They're playing. There's girlfriends out there playing. There's other people that, my good friend Annabelle over here is playing for the first time. But it's like I liken it to when I had kids playing sports. I always liked them start out in soccer because it wasn't so individualized. Kids can go out and play and do their thing. So. And we started on Saturday night. Saturday night, we had a big party that was hosted by a sheriff for all the VIPs and all the celebrities. Last night, we had a big party thing over at the Marietta Spa and Hotel, everybody together where we do all of our stuff, show videos, to really kind of, again, get into it with them a little bit about what's going on out there. And then today's the golf. But so that's the biggest thing. I think golf allows people to enjoy it more.
Yeah.
And a lot more people play golf than play softball.
And then we have a fundraiser tonight as well, right? In here.
Tonight's about, it's kind of the end of the day show where you'll see a lot of people dragging themselves in here because they've had 3 days of party time, and then they got being out in the heat today, and so you'll see all that as well. But it's just it's very enlightening. I tell people, how's the weekend going? I'm looking forward to Tuesday.
Kid, how do you come up with? I've always thought about this as being part of, I guess, quote unquote, I'm putting air quotes up, celebrity games and things like that, and competitions and tournaments. How do you come up with a list? Do you just pick up your phone and hit the Rolodex and say, you know what, I'm gonna call Odin Polides. That's my guy. Like, how do you come up with the list to find a Kyle Draper?
A lot of people. And then I actually met Kyle this past winter at a Kings game.
Okay.
And then you sit there and you talk to Kyle about what's going on. What I have found with what we're doing, it immediately gets people's attention because everybody wants to see how they can help.
Right.
And I've had numerous Denver Broncos out here. You get a couple in here, each year it's getting bigger because these same celebrities go back and tell their friends, hey, you got to go to this thing. It's a lot of fun, and they absolutely are doing a good cause. So it just keeps on magnifying that way. It's tough because, you get a lot of these guys, you never know where they're coming. They'll get dragged in a million different directions. But, get Tony Lopez out there today, and everybody's having a blast with him.
Yeah.
Different people. So it's
Tiger.
Yeah.
You got Harold Presley floating out there somewhere.
HB is here.
Yeah.
I didn't know HB was here. We got to get HB.
Yeah, Kenny Thomas is out here. All the guys are out here. So it's good. It's and they're all fantastic people. Daryl Pollard from the Niners, and all these guys this is like their third and fourth year. Just like they look forward to it. So that's a big thing.
Well, listen, Ken, thanks for everything that you do. Thanks for letting us play even just a small part in what you're doing here in Drive for Impact. And thanks very much for your time today.
I appreciate you guys. Anytime we can do things like this to reach out more is great.
Yep, absolutely. We'll come right back from Rancho Murrieta. Drive Guys, Sacktown Sports.
Capital Casino, conveniently located on 411th North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento.
Now more than ever, Lowe's knows you don't just want a low price, you want the lowest price. And with our lowest price guarantee, you can count on us for competitive prices on all your home improvement projects. If you find a qualifying lower price somewhere else on the same item, we'll match it. Lowe's, we help, you save. Price match applies the same item, current price at qualifying retailers. Exclusions and terms apply. Learn how we'll match price at lowes.com/lowest price guarantee.
Staples presents That Was Easy.
So we had a huge new business pitch.
Attention, all hands on deck.
When, boom, our only printer was fried.
Up in smoke, like your chances of landing that account.
Well, I just sent the file to Staples. Devin, the print associate, was on it. She had it printed and bound same day.
So where's the drama?
There wasn't any. Staples made it super easy.
Inconceivable. For the products, services, and experts you need, Staples.
That was easy.
In-store, online, and on the app.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. It may increase your stroke risk. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding, unusual bruising, or tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. Medications such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners may increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
Alan Stiles here with your Sacktown Sports Injury Update, brought to you by Downtown LA Law Group. Shea Langoliers exited a game last week after experiencing discomfort following a swing. The A's will have more information as to the severity of the injury after he undergoes further testing. Miguel Andujar, out with that right oblique strain, suffered it during a swing as well. He will be out a couple weeks, if not longer, per the A's Director of Sports Medicine and Rehabilitation, Brian Shulman. That was your Sacktown Sports Injury Update, brought to you by Downtown LA Law Group. Hey, I'm Alan Stiles. Have an injury? Call Downtown. Downtown LA Law Group, an injury law firm, has many happy clients in Sacramento and the surrounding areas who have called Downtown. Get paid for your injuries from slip and falls or auto accidents. One of their most recent settlements was $1.5 million for a motorcycle accident. Have you had an auto accident? Call Downtown. Text injury help to 40222. That's injury help to 40222 and visit them at calldowntown.com.
Hello, Sacramento. I'm Emran Pilati, owner of True Sports Cards and Collectible Store here in Rockland, California, and the host of the True Sports Cards Show that airs right here on Sacktown Sports 1140 every Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m., where we discuss the latest trends, hottest products, and deliver exclusive interviews with other industry leaders. And don't forget to visit our shop, True Sports Cards, at 6661 Stanford Ranch Road in Rockland and see what we have for all your sports card and memorabilia needs.
Only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Sacktown Sports.
Drive Guys coming to you today from Rancho Murrieta and the Drive for Impact Celebrity Golf Classics. You got Whitey and Jay here in the banquet room. People are completing their rounds and just rolling on in here, getting ready for the auction coming up for the banquet. And we're all getting ready for Kyle Draper to see how he did. We're not hearing great things about how he played today, but that's okay.
Well, it's part of the game. It's part of the situation. It's part of golf.
Yeah.
The game of golf, according to Frank LaRosa.
Yeah. No, that's Scott Marsh.
Scott
Game
Marsh. I was going to say Frank LaRosa and Scott Marsh. The game
golf.
of golf.
Yeah.
Right. So, and you've given enough game today to let me know. Look, it's not all going to be fine and dandy every single round.
Right.
And Draper is as hard on himself as I think he's as hard on some of the other topics that he discusses on the show. And so we'll find out. Ken Burns gave us an update last segment. He kind of did he's a little up and down. He's a little up and down. So maybe he's been average and he just feels like he hasn't played that well.
And then this is a tag team deal, right? Drapes comes in, you and I tag team. He does a show, and then we're
gone.
We're playing golf somewhere.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
we're hitting them. We're hitting around. Matter of fact, we're gonna have a little lunch, and then we're gonna sit over with the celebs and have a conversation and talk business and bring out the best stories and ask, who was your favorite golfer as a basketball player and all that other stuff.
Right. I didn't realize Harold Presley was here. We got to.
You didn't know that?
I did not know that.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's a
I
long
would have
list.
texted him. I got to text him.
Oh man, I dare you have his number?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
HP's going to join us.
Good.
Of course
Okay.
he's going to join us, man.
Good. That's tremendous.
There is so me and Drapes went back and forth on Thursday. Yeah, I think it was Thursday, and we had put a plan together over the weekend while you're partying and doing some things, put a few bugs in a few people's ear. And I sent them, like 6 or 7 people. And he sends me a list back. He's like, all right, listen, I've already talked to A, B, C, and D. And I'm like, all right, cool. Then I look and I'm like, oh, wait, there's like another 5 more.
Yeah.
I might want to try to squeeze on here, And he's like, oh, okay, all right. So then I look a few times. I look at the list again. I'm like, oh, you know what? There's like another 3. How about you talk to them for me too? It's like, so I texted a few people, off the list that I had I wanted to have, speak to you guys, but there's a long list of guys, man, especially from this area that, are some very high dignitaries of Sacramento.
Yeah. A lot of guys. Maybe this is pretty common. I don't know. It's really cool the way people come here from the early days of the Kings, get drafted, come here, and they're still here years and years later.
Yeah, definitely. They stay here.
Yeah. So we're getting ready for all of that. Jay, I got to ask you about this. I know Bobby was a baseball player, and he helps us here with our promotions. We were talking about this earlier off the air. Yeah, Bobby Jones, BJ. Carlos Correa of the Twins had some less than flattering things to say about the yard.
Of course.
Twins just came in, and they were out before the weekend. The Orioles came in. Carlos Correa played a couple of games in that 4-game set, and he didn't play the last 2 games. He says it's because of the batter's box, which is too slick. Quote, "It's the worst box I've ever stepped in. I like the park. The ball travels very well. The facilities are good. They did it right. The plate is the only problem. I'm not going to sacrifice 2 months of my season because of a couple of at-bats here." That's Carlos Correa, who said that he couldn't get traction. He doesn't like to wear metal cleats.
Sure.
So he wears the
molded?
Molded.
Oh, okay.
And then he says he couldn't wear the molded. He was slipping around. So then he put the metal cleats on, and that hurt his back. So he said he was out. We also have this before you weigh in on that.
Because I was about to say, Ramsey, get the dump button ready.
We also have this. Pablo Lopez may have hurt his arm significantly last week for the Twins, and Joe Ryan, his teammate, wondered aloud if a firm mound played a role in that. We talked about how Zach Wheeler, when he was here, he said, the mound's terrible, I couldn't get any drive, and I was throwing all arm. So Joe Ryan's wondering, is that why Pablo Lopez got hurt? Lopez did suffer a grade 2 major muscle strain. He's going to miss 8 to 12 weeks. Was that because of the mound? It's hard to say. But you did have 2 guys on the Twins talking about, wow, I don't know about that place in terms of injuries, Jay.
Well, you know how it goes. Anytime you have an injury and you're a big league player, you're trying to find the answer. What's going on? What's happening? What's super interesting about this for me, Whitey, is there's a few things. You knew the very first time someone had a terrible series, a terrible outing as a pitcher. Well, first of all, pitchers are weird anyway. Let me just put that out there. You're a pitcher, you're weird. Something was wrong with you anyway from the jump. The second part of that, though, is you knew someone was going to come here and go 0 for 12, 1 for 15, something of the sorts, and was going to put everything on the ball. Or you know what? The sun or the grass didn't feel right. Or you know what? The smell of the cut didn't. You knew it was coming. The hot dogs weren't properly prepared in the dugout. In the clubhouse. So you knew that was coming. We knew that. Zach Wheeler was one of the first people that popped out and said something, and that's okay. Totally understand. Got it. Zach Wheeler can deal. Second part of it comes out as this. Why, if that's the case, why haven't we heard any of these AAA players scream any of this over the last decade?
Well, supposedly because it's supposed to be better for the majors. When the minors is something you deal with, and with the majors, it's supposed to be at a higher level, presumably. I want to back up to something you alluded to because I thought I knew a lot about baseball. I did not really know until I started working with FP on this station 15 years ago how much hitters, regardless of what team you're on, and pitchers, regardless of what team they're on, don't like each other.
They're aliens.
I know.
Yeah,
I didn't know that. Yeah.
There were times that you would come in, and Bobby, you could just say yes or no. Bobby is not an alien. He is a person. You would begin of the practice. Just say spring training, beginning of college season, whatever level you want to talk about. You might come together. You have a few meetings.
Yeah.
You might get fitted for your gear, all those type of things. You see the pictures. Maybe first time you hit the grass, coach brings you up. Next thing you know, you don't never see them ever again until it's you see them running. And it's like, what are they running for? What is going on? They're track stars. They're looking around like, why are the pitchers
You're
always
working
running?
and they're running.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So all you guys are doing are running 1500s every single day. And then you walk around in the middle of the summer and you got a coat on.
Yeah.
Talk about staying hot. Well, guess what? If you were out there playing, you would already be warm.
I know. Now, I'm sure you've had many teammates that were pitchers that you've gotten along with, but in general, hitters look at pitchers and go, I can't stand them. Why not? They're trying to get me out, right?
Well, yeah, kind of. But even your guys, even guys on your squad, you look at them a little funny because you're not wrapped too tight. Your wiring is just a little off. Matter of fact, the wiring is spliced. When you got to splice something to put it like that's how pitchers are. They're spliced wires. Something just never right with a pitcher. But getting back to it, I'll say this. Carlos Correa, I don't want to say he's a diva, but he's already been he's already been labeled as a diva. We know what happened with the Giants. We know his move going back to the Twins. He kind of already has.
That was more the Giants than him. But
agreed.
Yeah.
Hence why I always talk bad about the Giants. But the reputation kind of precedes Carlos Correa a little bit, right? The second part of that for me is and I don't know this because obviously I was on vacation, so I didn't look up his numbers. I can look that up. Probably didn't have a good series. Probably was something that he's going to blame the field, what's going on for him not to have a good series. Also, I will say this. Carlos Correa is a little bit of he's mouthy. He's Michael Irvin-ish. He doesn't hold back from having an opinion on many different things. So I'm not sure who asked him that. I'm not sure if that was a beat writer from here. I'm not sure.
I think that came out of Minnesota.
That came from Minnesota.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, it doesn't surprise me that Carlos Correa is one of the first people to kind of go on record as saying, like, I don't like this field.
Yeah. I think it's something to keep an eye on. If we hear any more of that, it becomes a thing, especially if, let's say, another pitcher got hurt like that.
Right.
I mean, that's really impossible to prove how a guy gets hurt. But, Joe Ryan, to me, that's wondering aloud if the mound played a role in it. I don't know how responsible that is. But, okay, that's fair. But that becomes a thing if other guys get hurt. If they don't, we'll see. The A's are playing a little better now. The whole thing is, as Alan Stiles and Kyle were saying today, no one's ever done this before, what the A's are trying to do in Sacramento in a minor league park.
Right.
So there's a lot of it, like no one really knows how it's going to go.
No.
It hasn't gone great. We'll see. I know Rosenthal suggested last week when the A's were in the throes of that terrible losing streak, he said if they keep losing like this, something's going to burst. Someone's going to blow their top. Someone's going to lose their cool. Now they're playing a little better, so maybe not. But there are a lot of frustrations there because all the players are dealing with a lot than they typically have to deal with as major league players.
Sure.
We'll just have to see.
We're talking about the A's.
Yeah, primarily,
But it's interesting that you haven't heard as much grumble about the A's opinions on what's going on at the field compared to Zach Wheeler says something in the news.
But we have had Dallas Braden say there's a lot more than these professionals in the clubhouse are letting you know.
Oh,
about.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Mark
yeah.
Kotsay has talked about it a little bit last week. Remember, he kind of jumped out and said, the field is not where it needs to be and the facilities need, I'll say this, Whitey. I'll leave it like this. We knew coming into this situation that this wasn't going to be all peaches and cream. Can we agree to that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. With that also being said,
we thought maybe a little peaches.
Well, that's true. We can also agree that this isn't the best situation for a major leaguer compared to a minor leaguer. We also have talked about the Kurt situation, like guys who are getting the call up and not being able to have, the quote unquote major league experience. There's going to be a lot of firsts and a lot of issues with this situation. All we can do, unfortunately, is make the best of it.
Right. If it gets to a point where guys are getting hurt, and you can't say that for sure, even about the Twins pitcher that got hurt last week. Was it because of the mound? We don't know.
We don't know that.
If there are more injuries, then you may have something, but we just have to wait and see. When we come back, both teams feeling good with the NBA Finals headed to Indy. Who should be feeling better? And Kyle Draper, we'll see if he's feeling better when he joins us at some point. I mean, he said he had 2 holes to go. That was an hour and a half ago.
Man.
So,
what's going on,
we're
Draper?
getting ready for the
Draper
celebrity
slicing that thing.
Maybe he's been looking for a shot the whole time. Can't find his ball. We'll find out when we come back to Rancho Murrieta Drive Guy, Sacktown Sports.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
With 25 award-winning years in Northern California, Ashton & Price is your local injury law firm. Pro attorney tip: if a firm presents as local but they're in LA, red flag. If your first consultation is not with a lawyer, big red flag. At Ashton & Price, your first consult is with a local attorney, and if serious injury prevents travel, a lawyer will come to you. Still not enough? George Washington's my uncle. At Ashton & Price, no red flags, just red, white, and blue.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price.
Finally, an easy way to find home improvement contractors. Just visit subcontractorsunited.com and simplify your search for home services professionals. From cabinets to windows, roofing to plumbing, Subcontractors United is an easy, simple way to find and hire a home improvement contractor. And you never have to give up personal information. So no harassing phone calls like you get from those other websites. Subcontractorsunited.com is sponsored by D&D Cabinets and Savage Design.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6580. That's 800-583-6580.
Hot summer savings explode at Maida's Elk Grove Chevy. Save $12,000 off MSRP after rebates. Every new 2025 Silverado half-ton LT and RST in stock. Maida Chevy has similar savings on every new Silverado. One of the largest selections in the Sacramento area. $12,000 off new Silverado exclusively at the Maida Chevy Silverado Supercenter. Now that's big, huge. See them all at MaidaChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
West rating 2011 renewal. Not available with special financing, lease, and some other offers.
We get it. Tariffs are tough. Power tools are getting expensive. But at Fasteners Inc. Tool Outlet, we're solving that problem for 2 short days on June 20th and June 21st. We're putting all DeWalt power tools on massive discount. Batteries for less than $100. Combo kits for under $150. 20% off all regular price Tough System boxes and much, much more. So stop by Fasteners Inc. Tool Outlet in Sacramento on June 20th and 21st for some of the lowest prices on tools you'll ever see this year. To see all of what's on sale, visit FastenersInc.net. Fasteners Inc. Better tools, better prices.
Skeeter here. Got a question. What's small and dark with white bands on its legs and bites during the day?
Mosquitoes. Hi, I'm Luz Maria Robles, but these are 2 new types of day-biting mosquitoes. They're invading our area and becoming a big problem.
And they can be dangerous.
But we're on it, so when you see them, report it at fightthebite.net. In the meantime, use insect repellent and drain stagnant water around your yard.
We're here to help with these day-biting mosquitoes.
Visit us at fightthebite.net.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave here for American Energy, and oh my goodness, I'm born and raised here. I know it gets hot, but my goodness, we're already seeing 100-degree days. Listen to me. You do not want your system to conk out in the middle of June or July or August with one of those big 100-degree stretches. You want to make sure you're good all summer long. And my friends at American Energy Heating and Air can do that with a $24.50 tune-up right now. That's half price. And if you need a new system, $3,500 off, up to $3,500 off in rebates for qualified systems. They've been around since 1981, serving the greater Sacramento area. A+ with the Better Business Bureau. Call them right now, 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990. Jingle Singers, take it away.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
KHD 1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sacramento's official home of the 49ers.
San Francisco.
Sacktown Sports, 1140.
Out of here with that Steph Curry autographed jersey, but people are looking at items that are up for auction. Our buddy Vaughn just came by. He says Kuminga is the answer for the Kings.
Really?
Yeah. And at
Wow,
first,
you think Kuminga's the answer? Oh,
yes.
wait a minute now.
Yes,
I
that's
heard
what he
him.
said.
Okay,
Yeah,
all right,
yeah.
all right. Not
Yeah.
by itself. Okay, he said not by
yeah,
itself.
a
Okay,
piece.
all
Yes.
right. Just
Vaughn also gave us a thumbs down for Drapes, but then he said no. He hit some nice shots.
Oh, okay, all right, okay. He said he's doing his thing. I see.
Yeah.
I think Draper just down on his own self. That's all that is.
Yeah. Vaughn is a big listener. We appreciate that, Vaughn. Thanks for coming by and saying hi. And you can sense the anticipation here. The auction's already going, Jay. Have you put a bid in on anything?
No, I was sitting there looking at to see if something caught my eye yet.
Oh, really? All the 49 stuff? Okay.
Oh, look at Vaughn. Instead of the Draper deal, you get a white deal for Vaughn. That's what's up, man.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
That's right.
Too much deals, man.
I know. I saw that. That's the Taylor Swift autographed guitar and the Taylor Swift Chiefs jersey. If that was an Eagles jersey, Drapes would spend upwards of $1 million on that. Yeah. You got the Webb jersey, right? That's you?
Logan Webb.
Yeah, that's yours, right?
I think I'm gonna pass on that one, but I see where you're going with it. Yeah, I see where you. I saw there was something over there that did catch my eye, and it's the Bo Jackson jersey.
Oh,
yeah, it's a Bo Jackson jersey over there. This is the tough part. I told you about my Jackie Robinson situation. I've never bought a Jackie Robinson jersey just because it has the Dodgers on it. But I'm sitting here looking at this Bo Jackson. And for my generation coming up, Bo was one of those guys that was like Superman.
Is it a football or baseball?
It's a football jersey. It's a Raider.
Okay.
It's on the ground.
Oh, okay.
It's on the ground, yeah. And so, actually, I'm not sure if he's been pulled out yet. And I'm looking at it, maybe. But it was tough because there were some things that were still in cardboard. I don't know if you got to see. Like there was a Masters picture. They're bringing out stuff. They're bringing out more things, more items that was kind of packed in boxes. And so it looked like it was already pre-packed and ready to go, like someone had already purchased it. So I'm not sure it's going to come out, but it caught my eye. I was like, man, I had to stop and think, Bo Jackson jersey. That'd be something dope to have. I really would be something nice to add to the repertoire, man. I'd really be interested in a Bo Jackson jersey.
But not a baseball jersey? I mean, I know that football's the one they had here.
Yeah.
But if you had your druthers?
It doesn't really matter. I think just having a Bo Jackson jersey kind of,
Make a
sparks
note
the
of that.
nostalgia. Yeah.
Jay's Christmas list.
Yeah. Thank you.
Right.
Thank you so much, St. Nick.
Yeah. All right.
St. Gleason.
Jay, both teams feeling pretty good with the NBA Finals headed to Indy. OKC, they got the revenge. They got the series tilted back in their direction. Indy can say, we got our split. So we're doing pretty good. We won one of the first two there. We're feeling pretty good. Which team should be feeling better right now, in your professional opinion?
Indiana.
Indiana?
Yeah, why not? Because everyone else around you is saying that you don't have a chance, you don't have an opportunity to win this series. But you went and stole game one, Whitey. And the game, if we're really keeping it at 100, they had no business winning that game.
I know.
They stole that. They literally put on a mask, kicked in the door, and said, give it up.
Stuck in there, yeah.
Absolutely. And so beyond that, they were really getting blown out in both games. Losing by double digits multiple times. Yesterday it felt like even when they had a 6-0 run, timeout would come, and here comes the Thunder again. They put up another 7, 8, 9, 10 points straight. And so if I'm Indiana, I'm looking around me and saying no one, absolutely no one beside Pacers fans, WPTA, who cut away from the game earlier, and everybody that's inside this locker room is giving us an opportunity to win this. We won game one.
Would you like to hear that, by the way? I think Ramsey found out.
Sure.
Let's
hear it.
This would be, if Ramsey has it, this would be, you hear the play-by-play. So this is if you were watching on TV in Indiana on WPTA. So you hear the game audio, and then you hear them break in, and then they come back with the game. Do you have that for us, Ramsey?
Thunder clinging to this 3-point lead. SGA the drive inside, shot block. Siakam throws it back.
Next on 21 Alive News, the man who was brutally beaten at Pike's Pub last week has come forward. Hear what he wants to have happen now. Also tonight, a big night for Pacer fans as Indiana is in the NBA Finals. We'll show you a local business who has seen a boost from the yes sirs.
And we could see a little fog overnight tonight. We'll have the very latest forecast coming up in a few minutes.
Thanks for staying up with us. I'm Amara Boss. Fort Wayne's most watched news start.
SGA guarded by Nimhard.
That was right. I'm telling you, Whitey, that had to be automation.
That's what they said. They said, we're sorry. Yes. A technical issue in our master control inadvertently triggered the start of our newscast.
Dude, does WPTA
in the fourth quarter, game one
not understand? This is the NBA Finals, and you have to spend the $25 an hour to pay an employee. Like, come on.
Right.
That is triggering, as they would say. The youngsters, I'm triggered. My daughter, friends say it's triggered. It's like, man.
I'm sorry, what, sir? Yeah, we're on.
Last year on kicker played pro football.
Was it last? Yeah.
Express, Kerry Sowers.
Oh, okay.
Come on, baby.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. Google it. That's what I'm talking about.
We get heckled by former USFL players. Yeah, it's that kind of day here. Someone just came up and popped to some kind of trivia question. The answer was him.
Yeah.
And I didn't catch all of it, but he was not happy with us for not knowing it.
No, he said Google it. He said the last straight on kicker.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kerry Sowers.
Yeah. And then he said,
USFA.
Yeah. And that was him, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pointed at
Yeah.
himself. So get it together.
We'll come back.
Whitey, get it together. You should know that.
I know. What's wrong with me? Where's Draper? Let Draper deal with some of this. Safe to say the Kings are running it back. Are we good with that? That's next here from Rancho Murrieta on Sacktown Sports.
Capital Casino, conveniently located on 411th North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Why'd I go to the doctor? My heart would race just taking my son to practice. It didn't feel right. So I got checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
How can you free your team from time-consuming office tasks? Amazon Business. Smart business buying tools enable buyers to find and purchase items fast so they can focus on strategy and growth. Free up your teams and focus on your future. Learn more at amazonbusiness.com.
The Giant Summer Sale is here. Get giant savings on our giant selection only at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Looking to own or lease? Save during the Giant Summer Sale and drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Folsom Lake Honda.
Go to FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Your one-stop Honda shop.
The only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Sacktown Sports.
We're having a great time out here at Rancho Murrieta. We just had a kind of an unusual situation. You know, when you get out of studio, there's more variables and unusual things can happen, which is one of the reasons you want to get out and about. So we're here in the banquet room at Rancho Murrieta as the Drive for Impact Celebrity Golf Classic is wrapping up. We know we have celebrities here. We expect to be talking to some of them. Kyle Draper at some point should be joining the show. But we're standing here, and the bar is just to our left, and the gentleman made a beeline for me, did he not?
Yeah.
As Jay and I were talking about.
I almost put the brass knuckles out for you.
We were talking about the interruption of the game in Indiana, game 1 of the finals, and this guy starts yelling something about, hey. Yeah? Who's the last straight-on kicker in pro football?
Right.
Something, I think.
That's what it sounds like. Yeah.
I don't know.
Right. Well, you were doing your job. You were still talking about
right. Yeah, you got me. I just noticed he had a Denver Broncos shirt on, and then he says, "I thought it was Kerry Stowers."
I thought that's.
Then he's like, "Kerry Stowers," like a mic drop. Like, Google it. And he walks off. I don't know what the guy's talking about.
And he was dead serious.
Yes.
Like, I thought he was going to drop a laugh or
right. Hey, how you guys doing?
Yeah. I mean, first of all, he had a adult beverage in his hand, and it looked like it might have been a long day already.
If he kicked right now, it would not be straight on. That's what I'm guessing. Might be taking kind of an indirect route to the ball. Ladies and gentlemen, Del Rogers is here.
With the flavorful Hawaiian tea.
How you doing, Del?
It's like, man.
How are you?
It's
Hey.
What's up with you, brother?
Yeah.
So it's part of the game.
Yeah,
It's part of the game, Mr. Gleason.
It's part of the game. So I looked the guy up. I felt like, I should Google it. I was like, oh man, how do I not know that? I can't find him. I don't know if I've misunderstood him or.
Well, the way he came across as if it was him.
Right.
He was like, "Yeah, me." Like he pointed to himself, me. But I'm not 100% sure.
Right.
He is who he said he is, and if that's even real, and if he even kicked in the league.
Right.
So,
right.
Who knows?
We'll find out.
We're guessing.
That's part of the fun we're having here.
It
today.
is, yeah. I should ask Annabelle, like, who is that? Can we get a?
Do we have a list of the people? Is he like?
Is he a dignitary?
How many? I should, just casually. How many USFL kickers are here today? I'm a big USFL straight on kicker guy. Yeah. I heard you might have one here. Yeah. And the last thing I want to do is go back. Oh, you found Gary Sauer.
Oh, Gary Sauer. Got you.
Oh, okay.
I've actually heard of Gary Sauer. Yeah.
Thank you, Bobby.
That's not what came across.
That's not what I heard.
No, that wasn't.
What I heard sounded more like whiskey sour.
That. Yeah, we had the headphones on.
Yeah.
We definitely misinterpreted that.
Yeah.
Because I didn't see Gary Sauer at all.
Gary Sauer.
I've actually
heard
of Gary Sauer, yeah.
So come on out. If you have a chance, you might be able to get his autograph here, but just approach with caution.
Careful, right? Take it easy when you're running up on Gary. Gary is high.
That's how Gary rolls. Yeah. All right. So, Jay.
Shouts out to Gary.
Mm-hmm. I find that I miss the days when the Kings had a high draft pick. I know that typically followed bad seasons, but there was a lot of intrigue about what they're going to do. And, this is the second time in 3 years that we haven't had a first-round pick. And I'm not being critical. I'm not using this as an opportunity to take shots at the organization or this or that. It's plenty of time for that. I just miss it as a fan because right now the Kings are in the state of we don't know what's going on. Maybe it's not a bad thing. Maybe something really good will come out of it. I'm just saying from a fan standpoint, it's really frustrating. You just have to sit and wait and have no idea which way they're going.
Yeah. But we're early in the summer.
We are.
So
I know.
I know we're a little impatient. And
definitely, you're right.
I'm not. One thing I'm
not. I got a little Gary Sauer in today. I
don't know. One thing I'm not going to continuously do is ask Kings fans to be patient.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the same vein, say, "Hey, fan how you want to fan." I'm not going to do that, right? And so, I guess I'll stick to fan how you want to fan. But it's the beginning of the summer, and right now. Not only are we as Sacramento Kings fans looking for some action and movement, the NBA is as well.
Yeah,
the finals is what they're.
Of course,
the finals is what is. Right now is in the moniker, and so it's tough when you're not in the finals, when you didn't make the playoffs and you make the play in. It's just one of those things where, we're always looking for some action and we're looking for some movement.
Yeah,
unfortunately, it's not happening right now.
If the Kings.
And we're used to having high draft picks.
Right. If the Kings do essentially run it back, they added a point guard, whatever, they'll make some moves, we know. And I'm not saying that as if that's insignificant. That would be a big move. But if they basically bring the core back, Dumas and Levine and DeMar, at least two of those guys, they run it back and they're clearly trying to make a run at it again. Would you be okay with that? Because it more and more increasingly looks like that's what they're doing. Are we okay with that? Can we get behind that? As Kings fans, can we get excited about that again?
Well, that's a tough word, excited.
I
think we can get behind it because we're the fans of the squad. And there are going to be some people who don't get behind it and who are going to say, not this again. Nah, I'm not trying to do this. But fans will always come back and root for their squad more times than not. Now unless you do them wrong, you turn your back on them and you leave town and don't come back. Yeah, you're not going to be supported. But Kings fans, I got belief they'll always support the Kings as long as they're here, and even when they're not in forms and fashions. Meaning even when they
Gary Sauer.
That's not Gary him? Sauer. No, man.
Oh, that's not him.
That wasn't Gary, was it? Oh, that
was.
Gary? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's all right.
Go get him.
He just gave me a look like, dang. I Googled it, bro.
What'd you do to Gary, man? Gary ain't feeling you.
I know.
Man.
I don't know what happened.
What's up
I'm hoping we can patch things up.
Gary is really not. He's not a fan of yours.
No.
And what's so cold is I'm literally a foot and a half away from you.
Right.
And he doesn't care about me at all. He's got his eye all on Whitey.
I disrespected him somehow, Jay. I don't know how.
What?
But apparently.
Let me ask you a question right now. Do I go get Gary? Do we talk to Gary today? Do we kiss and make up on air, or has he already said and done too much to you for for this relationship to be repaired?
He's dead to me.
Okay, I respect it. I got all the love.
We'll see. Maybe we'll have an opportunity.
Yeah,
Maybe an
I have
opportunity
no
will
clue.
present
I have
itself.
no clue.
We got a lot of players coming through
We're
here
starting to fall
saying
in
hi.
line.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Hello.
Absolutely.
Good. How are you?
How's everything, sir? Absolutely.
Yeah,
No, thank
absolutely.
You. When you have a little time, we'd love for you to sit down and.
O'Reilly, yes. Gotcha. Mm-hmm. Right. Appreciate that.
Man,
Yeah.
moving and
Thank
grooving.
you. Appreciate that. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Well,
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They're starting to fall in now, Whitey.
Yeah.
They're definitely.
I thought that guy said he was with the Kansas City Chiefs.
He was. That's what
Okay.
he said.
Yeah.
That man is
Tony Gonzalez. Who was that?
you're a cold boy.
He had a Chiefs necklace on there, and then he started talking about his company and his AI. And anyway,
no one cares about. No one cares about what they've represented. They care about what they're representing today.
Yes.
And that one thing that we're definitely we're finding out and they're coming across is everybody is they're here for the awareness of human trafficking, and you can definitely tell they're tied to this.
Yes.
This is something that
we
is special
appreciate
to them.
that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Tony Ray Harvey did. He responded to what you said earlier about him. He had some interesting things to say in the chat.
Oh,
so
okay.
Thanks, Tone. We appreciate that. But let me, if I may, circle back to the Kings. If the Kings do decide to run it back this year, again, they may add a point guard, but how difficult would that be for them to convince the fans that, all right, that's the move. I'm on board.
Oh, very difficult. That's what I said. You use the word excited. Yeah, that's going to be a tough situation. Excited? Yeah, that's a problem. But as far as getting behind or supporting them, yeah, I watch the games. I got love for them. I'm going to root them on. But as we've heard, there are a lot of King fans talking about support with their dollar. You might not come across that as you know, as we've become used to Kings fans.
I think I don't know how you feel about it. I think Scott Perry has a difficult job ahead of him this summer.
I agree.
He's got to not only fix the team, but he's got to try to at least partially repair the broken trust. And maybe it's not all the way broken, but it's certainly fractured between the organization and fans.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. There is a bridge, a step, or a cog in that bridge that is crumbling.
Yeah, right.
Not as crumbled.
Right.
You might have to, jump over that piece. But yeah, Scott
None of
Perry,
it is of his doing. Obviously.
No, it is not. Unfortunately, he is the second company who has been charged with coming to repair that bridge. And so, yeah, there is an instance right now for Scott Perry and his front office that they are going to, they're going to have to flip the switch quick. And if not quick, they need to at least bring the lanterns out for the room so people can at least believe they can see,
right?
See the vision, see
right.
the plan.
I think it comes down to a lot of fans. There are some fans that are hell bent on tanking. I think Bobby is in favor. I just heard him tell somebody. A lot of people are like pro tanking. A lot of fans. So if they don't tank, and I don't think they will, a lot of fans will be upset. That's just the way it is. But it's the other fans. I agree with you. They're looking for something to hang on to. Give me something to work with. Give me something to get excited about. Last year was more about people leaving, and it's hard to get excited about that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's going to be a major issue, Whitey, if it comes to the point of you rerunning this team and just kind of working around the edges. Get excitement for that is going to be. That's going to be few and far in between if I believe, if what I believe is true. Now, getting some support may be a little different.
What if it's Tyus Jones? What if that's the move?
And that's the only move?
Yeah.
For the most part.
Other than, they bring back Jake LaRavia.
That's going to be tough, my brother.
And you draft somebody,
that's going to be tough, my
at 42.
Yeah. But you know what? Scott Perry, and as you said, there are some people in belief, like this team hasn't had enough time to even find itself. Right now, they don't even know who they are. So we may see some form of that, but I also believe that they need to make some not minor tweaks, but at least a major tweak somewhere.
We have the Chateau comment of the day here. Top of the leaderboard, I think this one has a good chance to win for Chateau comment of the day from Campio. How long does it take Draper to play 2 holes? That's a good.
I have no clue. And I've been looking to see who he's paired with. I haven't been able to catch his name because it's moving so quick.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd like to see. I'm hoping he's not one of them TBDs because I haven't seen Kyle and/or Draper. So I'm hoping that he's not TBD 20, TBD 10. He's a TBD guy up on that board.
This is 2 holes left from Kyle Draper. I believe that's at 3:30, right, Jay? That's when that was sent?
Yes.
Yeah.
He's got a whole hour. Man,
okay.
You tell me, I'm not a golfer. How long does it take to play 2 holes in a
No, you doesn't take an hour.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I guess it depends which holes they are and
True.
how much they struggled.
That's true.
But Drape should be joining us at some point. When we come back, 10 teams to watch this offseason. Do the Kings even make that list? We roll on here from the Drive for Impact Celebrity Golf Classics. Jay and Whitey, Sacktown Sports.
Get ready for a night out with Jordan Davis. It's Country in the Park 2, Saturday, September 13th at Cal Expo. Along with the special guests Mitchell Tenpenny, Low Cash, Vincent Mason, and Avriana. Make it a family day out with food trucks, games, dancing, and more. Saturday, September 13th at Cal Expo with Michelob Ultra. Tickets are available now at CITPFest.com. We get it. Tariffs are tough. Power tools are getting expensive. But at Fasteners Inc. Tool Outlet, we're solving that problem for 2 short days on June 20th and June 21st. We're putting all Milwaukee power tools on massive discounts. Tons of Milwaukee batteries and bare tools for less than $100. 25% off all regular price Milwaukee pack-out boxes and much, much more. So stop by Fasteners Inc. Tool Outlet in Sacramento on June 20th and 21st for some of the lowest prices on tools you'll ever see this year. To see all of what's on sale, visit FastenersInc.net. Fasteners Inc. Better tools, better prices.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave here for Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room, inviting you to come join them every Wednesday for their midweek madness drawing, giving away $2,000 in total cash starting at 6 p.m. It's a safe and friendly environment, plenty of well-lit parking available, and it's conveniently located right there in downtown Sacramento. And remember, best food, best service, best games, 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento. For more information, log on to capital-casino.com and gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Live and local, it's the Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sacktown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sacktown Sports app.
Yeah, you got the Drive, guys. It's the Drive for Impact Celebrity Golf Classic today at Rancho Murrieta. Somebody here in the chateau asking us, actually Campy asking, Whitey, have you ever played Rancho Murrieta? I have told that story before, Campy. Thanks for asking. I played here as a guest of Scott McCarron's one time. And Scott McCarron and I played against Phantom and Scott's caddy, who was a really good player. And it was a pretty competitive match. They really wanted to win. The two of them wanted to beat each other. And I had a chance to win the match with a 6-foot putt on 18. And I missed it. And Scott howled with unhappiness. He was really not happy that I missed that putt. And I'll never forget it because
the sound?
He's just like, oh. I mean, I felt so bad. You know, it's a PGA Tour guy. Hey, come out and play, and I miss a putt. And he's like, oh. And then I've told the story. But, yeah, I had a bag tag. Rancho Murrieta asked him to sign it. He said, yeah, sure. And he said, hey, Whitey, nice putt, Scott McCarron. So that was my time playing Rancho Murrieta. Just beautiful. Jay, I was not a very good golfer, and there were times when I'd play a course like this, and I admit, part of me, I felt like, I don't belong here. Which you should never feel.
No,
but I did let that creep into my mind a little bit here and there sometimes.
For your play, you felt like your
That's a little
play
like,
wasn't up to par,
right,
wasn't up to
right.
standard.
And you know, you should never feel that way about anything with
absolutely.
anybody.
You belong, right.
Right.
You belong on the court with you belong on the court, a course,
right,
a track,
yeah,
a field,
yeah,
with the best,
right. If I'm here, I belong here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Go out and ball, and you know, as they say, any given Sunday. Hence why we're talking about, do the Pacers have a chance and opportunity? Absolutely they do. Absolutely they do. And so, yes, you did too.
Yes,
you know,
yes. And I had to hit a heck of an approach to even be in position to make that putt.
It, baby. Come
yeah.
on, don't talk about it. Don't act like you didn't belong. You got all the way to that point, right?
Yeah. Hit a terrible drive and then hit my rescue club. Boom. Pin high.
What's a rescue club?
It's kind of like a hybrid wood. It was maybe like a 5-wood more than a rescue club. It's like a hybrid wood iron sort of weird thing. I shouldn't have used that term. It was probably like a 5-wood. Yeah. So great shot. It was a great shot. It just missed the putt.
Between.
Kind of.
Okay.
Yeah, because I was not in a very good lie.
Gotcha.
I hit my tee shot into kind of a hollow, and then I had to hit it back up to the green and hit it right on the green. Great shot. Just missed the putt. That's golf. I missed the putt.
So what does Scott say to you now?
I haven't talked to him in a while.
Okay. Now,
haven't been invited
so
back.
you know what I'm going to do now, right?
I hope you do.
Yeah, you know.
I would love to talk to him. I haven't talked to him in a long time.
Now I might have to get him on the
yeah.
Now I might have to get him on the yeah, that's a lot going on.
Posing for pictures here.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But I might have to try to get him on for a guest now.
That would be tremendous. Thank you. Thank you.
I was literally getting ready to look and see if I had his number.
Yeah, I think this was his home course when he was here. Yeah.
Oh, so he knew this like the back of his hand.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, what did he expect?
Expected me to make the putt. That's what he expected.
How far off did you miss it?
It was. I said 6-footer. It was probably more like a 2-foot. It was a heck of a.
You missed a 2-footer?
I missed. It was close, Jay. It was a makeable putt, very makeable. And I left it a little left edge. It didn't come back. My caddy thought, I don't have a caddy, but I thought it would come back a little bit. It was one of those, wish I had it. Wish I'd made it. But
that's all right.
I always tell myself, it's a better story this way.
Yes,
it's not,
is.
But that's what I tell myself.
It's okay to feel that way. There's no problem. It's okay to feel that way.
But I learned something from playing with Scott. I'd play occasionally with David Sutherland, who's a great guy.
Okay.
And the pros, the really good players, if they bomb one like 300, you're like, whoa. And they're like, yeah. But when they make a putt, like a long putt, they get excited because that's where they make their money.
Yeah, well, they say
putt
for the dough, right?
Right,
Even
right.
I know that.
Drive for show, putt for dough.
Now, come on now.
Uh-huh.
What's your average drive?
Not a long hitter. That's one thing I got to increase my off the tee.
I've heard, and I don't know if you've ever played with him, but I've heard the G-Man, Gary Gerald, is not a long hitter, but he's straight down the middle.
Mm-hmm.
He is a ruler.
Mm-hmm.
He is right down the middle all the time. And so I'm pretty sure that has a great positioning in golf plays a lot.
Right.
It's a big part.
Yeah, I kind of have the worst of both worlds typically. Not hitting it very far, but not hitting it straight either. Which is
goodness.
Yeah, not a good combination, right, Scott?
No, that's definitely not a good combination. There goes your boy.
But that's golf.
Errol Presley.
HP.
That's your boy, man. Come on now.
How are you, brother?
You know how it goes. Got to give HP. What's up, HP?
Yeah,
jump on
Errol
for us
Presley.
real quick.
You got a second, HP?
Real quick few minutes.
Yeah. We mentioned all the luminaries that are here today. Nice enough to join us. One of the all-time tremendous. Can you put that on for us? Yeah. Thank you.
He was taking out his AirPod.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
You know how it goes.
Oh, one of the all-time great and fan favorite to this day, Sacramento Kings. Errol Presley.
Hey, ho.
I want to ask you something honestly.
The cat story?
We'll get to that. That's great. But isn't it true that the only reason you hang around with me at all is because you like my wife?
Your wife is adorable. I'm still trying to figure out, some people just don't have taste. So I don't like my wife. When she met me, I was falling down. I'm on the ground and I had way too much to drink.
Yeah.
And she chose me. So I'm like, there's something wrong with your taste. I'm worried about you.
How did you hit him today, HP?
I was awful.
Did you have a good time?
I played 2 weeks ago in a tournament and came in at 23 under.
Mm-hmm.
Today, I was the worst player on the course. It was like I couldn't get off the ground, couldn't get off the tee.
Really?
It was horrible. Wow. And then I walked 7 holes. My wife.
Yeah.
Well, I have a doctor who told me I needed to walk more.
I get a new doctor.
It's a wannabe doctor. Well, it's my wife. She's a wannabe doctor.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Well, you got to walk some more. You got to walk today, get a couple holes in. And, I walked 7 holes and I was dead. There's hills here. You can't walk this course, especially in the heat.
No,
it was awful.
no.
And the poor guys I played with were from Harris, the casino.
Okay.
And I apologize. This isn't really normal. How about if you guys come play with me? I'm going to take you up to Peachtree Country Club. Hey, by the way, Peachtree, I'm coming with a few people.
Did you happen to see Draper out there at all? Because we've gotten mixed reports about how he played. Draper.
I'm just going to go off I'm just going to say it was awful.
Okay.
I didn't see a thing.
We might have heard that anyway, but yeah.
Awful. How y'all doing?
We're doing great.
What's new in the sports world?
What's
good?
What isn't new? Have you had your eye on the finals at all yesterday or game one at all?
I only saw a few minutes of yesterday.
Okay.
And I pretty much saw only the fourth quarter on
game one.
You saw the good part there.
Yes, because when I turned the TV on, they were already up by 20.
Right.
So I just assumed it was all done. And this is basketball. You can't assume that.
Absolutely, and that's what I was
Especially
going to ask you.
With the 3-point shot, you cannot assume that.
I was going to ask
and
that.
if Steph Curry's on the court, well, you can never count it out.
Didn't you play on a team with Jerry was the coach, and you guys had Vinny Del Negro and I think Ricky Berry, and you had a game.
Kenny
I think it's just words. Yeah,
Danny
and you
Ainge.
guys bombed away, and you made like 16 threes as a team.
17 was the number.
Okay, but at the time it was like, oh my goodness,
It was
it's like
lot
a new age
threes.
of basketball.
Yeah, so Ricky Berry was on fire. I think he had 6 and I had 4, and then Danny Ainge had 3 and Kenny had 2, and then who was the last one? Danny Ainge and Kenny Smith and Vinny Del Negro. Yes. So yes, that kind of changed the look of
You guys were ahead of the curve there at the time. It was like, whoa.
But see, that should have been the style going into the next year.
Yes.
But it wasn't.
Right.
What just happened? Why we stop?
HB, I've never had the opportunity to ask you this. Is this something I've thought about you guys playing here, Sacramento, in the 80s?
Can you believe it's been 40 years?
It's painful.
Yeah.
Don't do that, bro.
I'm sorry.
Why would you say that? Why would you say that?
I wasn't here 40.
Right.
That's right.
30,
He wasn't
39.
Right. It's something, and we had this conversation. People who normally come play in Sacramento, they have an opportunity to get acclimated to community, someone like yourself. And they don't normally leave the community of Sacramento. Someone like yourself being here in Sacramento. Is there a reason why?
Well, I actually so into the community that I am now the community liaison for Highlands Community Charter and Technical School.
Wow.
But that is pretty much over June 30th. So I don't know if I'm going to retire or am I going to join you guys. Is there an opening somewhere?
Maybe.
Okay.
Maybe.
There is if he doesn't sit down.
Well, here we go.
You just walk right by and look at us like,
All right.
I'm a dignitary. Yeah.
I'll take his job. Good. So no, the more and more people are like Bobby Jackson. Bobby Jackson. The first thing I said to him was, "How'd you like Philadelphia?" Now Villanova is just outside of Philadelphia.
Right.
He said, I couldn't wait to get back to Sacramento," and you hear that. I spent a few minutes with Mike Bibby, and for him to come back, and Peja and Bloody and Jim Les and Henry, everybody just. It's such a beautiful place, one, to raise children, as I did, and it's. I know I told you this before. When I first arrived in Sacramento for my interview, before getting back on the plane 24 hours later, I told people I will live here forever. It was just the community. It was just the people just are so nice and wonderful and welcoming.
And you hadn't even met my wife yet.
I didn't even meet her. I did, but I knew she was coming.
I see. Yeah.
Now, how did you pull her off? She's so sweet.
Right place, right time. You know,
boy.
You know how it works sometimes.
She shouldn't have drank her at a young age.
Now, have you ever heard the cat story?
No, we can't do the cat story.
You're not going to do it?
My mom passed away.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, but we can tell the cat story. That's not a problem.
So you can or you can't?
Well, we can always tell it.
Yeah. Have you ever heard the cat story?
I have not.
Would you care to share it?
I
don't want to put you on
We
the
love
spot.
the cat story. My sister hates it, but we love the cat story.
Greatest story I've ever heard.
So my sister, her name, I'm going to give her name now. This is the first time I ever gave her an Angela.
Okay.
Angela's the oldest one. She's the first. I'm the third. So my sister just would bring things home all the time. She would bring animals home. Dogs and cats and whatever it was, she'd bring it home. My mom told her absolutely nothing ever again. No, especially cats. My mom couldn't take the cats. So one day we go to school. I get back home and I hear the meows. Meow, meow. I'm like, oh no, Angela. She said, no, Mom knows. She says it's okay. What? My mother said, okay, all right. So all the kids are home. We're playing with the cats. And they're all kittens. And my mom drives in the driveway. My sister says, hurry, get the kittens in the sack. Mom doesn't know. So we pick them all up. We shove them into the sack. We put them into the garage. Mom walks in the front door and she hears, no, no, no. And first thing she says was, Angela, get them. Get them right now. So Angela goes in the garage, gets the cats. Where did it? Down the street. So get them. And let's get in the car. We're taking them back right now. So Angela tells us where to go. We drive into the lady's driveway. We knock on the door. Lady opens the door, and my mom says, here. And the lady says, what am I going to do with it? My mom was like, woman, what am I going to do with it? Take the cats. We get back in the car. We start driving home. My sister says, that wasn't the house, man. Why didn't you tell me the right house? Well, I thought we could keep the cats if I gave you the wrong
house. There you go.
The cat store.
Not one of the all-time greats.
HB, man.
Yeah. So what's else going on? How's the football? I have become a football fantasy junkie.
Really?
I'm so into it. It's ridiculous.
Are you serious?
I'm up at 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. My wife is really? Are you really?
Now, are you
the trades?
Because you're back east, are you an Eagles guy?
I like
well,
all the
New
teams.
York, though,
No,
right?
well, I was born in New York. The first 5.5 years of New York, but I moved to Connecticut. So in between, I'm right in between New England, the Patriots, and the Giants.
Okay, yeah.
But I was really a Steeler fan.
Yeah,
growing up. Yeah, I love Lynn Swan. I
Sure,
love anybody
of
who can catch
course,
the
of
ball.
course,
So
of course,
the way
of
he
course.
caught it in the tricks, and obviously in the 70s that was the team. So I was more of that fan, but I'm really just a general football fan. I just love good football, just like I love good basketball. I don't care who's playing. I just want to see good basketball.
Do you watch any of the WNBA? I'm not going to put you on the spot. It's fine if you don't.
I haven't watched the whole. Well, I have now with Caitlin. I'm like everybody else. I want to see Caitlin.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. So I watched a lot of her. And it's really getting better.
Yeah.
I mean, the quality of play is much better than even when we had the champions here.
Yeah.
With Holyfield and it's even better than that.
Ticha Pinachero, pardon me, Ticha.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's coming around. It's time for me to sit down and watch some, but it's the summertime. It's time to golf. Lousy golf, but golf.
It's all right. It's all
Yeah.
right.
We'll have to play sometime if you're up for it. We're trying to get this guy out there.
Are you going to start?
I don't know, HB.
I'm trying to talk him into it.
Just take lessons first.
Maybe.
Don't pull what I did, because that doesn't end up well. Get some lessons. Guys, it was great talking to you.
Great talking to you.
Always fun.
Yeah.
You guys have fun. Anytime you need me, I'm around.
Thanks.
All
Yeah,
right.
we'll be back with either the new drive guy, Harold Presley, or the old guy, Kyle Draper.
Right.
So we'll find out when we come right back to Rancho Murrieta, Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
Whitey here for Napoleon Grills, reminding you that when buying a new grill, every detail matters. While supplies last, you'll receive a $149 gift with purchase on every new Napoleon Prestige stainless steel grill. The kit even includes a pizza lover starter kit and much more. And now up to $79 off Napoleon Rogue models. Napoleon grills are built different, built better, built to last, with a lifetime warranty and premium steel that boasts amazing quality. Visit Green Acres Nursery today for your best selection of Napoleon grills and accessories. Get ready for a night out with Jordan Davis. It's Country in the Park 2, Saturday, September 13th at Cal Expo. Along with special guests Mitchell Tenpenny, Locash, Vincent Mason, and Abriana. Make it a family day out with food trucks, games, dancing, and more. Saturday, September 13th at Cal Expo with Michelob Ultra. Tickets are available now at CITPFest.com.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This is Secret Clinical dominating extra stinky stress sweat. And this is regular deodorant. Secret Clinical in a heat wave. Oh, what a beautiful day. This is regular deodorant. Ugh, I can't. Secret Clinical with workout sweat. Let's run another marathon. And regular deodorant. How much more? Secret is the GOAT because nothing fights sweat better.
Stay fresher under pressure. Summer's almost here, and so are popsicles, pool days, and a lot of smiling. Make sure your kiddo's smile is ready with a visit to Kids Care Dental and Orthodontics. Our expert team makes dental visits easy and fun with sensory-friendly hours for kids who need a calmer environment. We can also accommodate same-day treatments. And to save you time, if your child needs multiple treatments, we can often do them all at once. Appointments fill up fast, so don't wait. Beat the summer rush and schedule online at kidscaredental.com. That's kidscaredental.com, where healthy, happy smiles begin.
The only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Sacktown Sports.
From Rancho Murrieta, Kyle Draper has made it, and he's
in the building.
Yeah.
Trapes is in the building.
How long does it take to play 2 holes, brother?
I tell you what, man. I tell you what. Wait, hold on. Before you go, someone left this show just a minute ago saying somebody about to start come on the show and start lying. It ain't me. Kyle? It ain't me. I just want to check. Let me say this. Usually a normal golf round, anywhere from 72 to 90 to 100 shots. And we must have took like 120 shots out there each person. It was brutal. We probably came in dead last. I'm telling you, we were struggling out there. Tough conditions. It was like the British Open, but here in Sacramento. Wind, gusty. It was rough. It was rough.
Who'd you bring with you?
I got my guy, Mexico's finest, Sacramento King legend, Kenny Thomas. Hey, check out his wine brand out there, too. What is it, KT?
KT Legacy Wines, my brother.
Legacy Wine.
Yeah.
Thomas, welcome to the drive, guys.
What's up? Hey, let me tell you something, man. This feel good. Hey, it's been like 2 years since we worked together with NBC. Like, I never thought, one, I'd be doing anything else with you.
All right.
And two, I appreciate you guys because I check out y'all shows just to let y'all know.
Okay.
And you got an amazing producer and the homie over here.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, yeah, what's up, man?
Hey, sorry about Harold Presley sweaty headphones.
I know, right?
At least my face is sweaty, and I'm gonna get off and I'm gonna wipe them off. You know what I mean?
Who knew that we had to bring antiseptic wipes out here for the show? How was it out there, though?
Where the alcohol wipes at, man?
Good. How was it for you, man, out there?
It was good. I got a golf coach in Albuquerque where I'm doing some stuff and still got my crib here, but it was cool, man.
Hey, Kenny, you gotta go. We got Old Impala. No, I'm joking. No. I'm joking. Not yet. I'm joking. I'm joking.
Hey, here, my brother.
Drapes gave you the hook.
Hey, I asked this man if he played 16, and he said no, Kenny.
17. He corrected him with the quickness. Old Impala. We'll get him on here in a minute. We'll get him on. I'm messing with you, Kenny.
But I'm not getting off this mic yet.
So you hit him better than him? I mean, it sounds like
we both lefties.
Yeah.
I didn't get to see him today. He was on. Where were you? The North course?
I was on North.
I was on South. They had the big hitters on the South, and Kenny was over here on the North. So I didn't get to see him.
Oh, so they put me on the better side.
Right. No, they put you on the weak side.
North is the better course. You know that, right?
Dude, that's all right. That's all right.
Just saying.
You know, I'm saying it was Rancho. It was nice. Both courses are nice. I don't want to say nothing bad about the course. Both courses were nice.
You know you miss this banter with me, don't you?
I do. You miss it. What you been up to, man? Tell the people what you got going on.
Man, what don't I got going on?
Yeah.
I mean, it was a blessing to be able to work for NBC and with you for 2 years. Yeah. I feel like
Blessing.
that set me up. Yeah, man.
I've worked with him for a couple years. That's not the first word that comes to mind, but good for you.
It's hard. It's hard to work with me. I understand
I
that.
hate to say this, but the man taught me a lot.
Good. Yeah, I can see that.
And he set me up for radio. So I got 3 radio shows in New Mexico with Cumulus Media.
Really?
Yeah. So I got after every Lobos basketball game where I played. Starting in November all the way through March, I got a call-in show.
Nice.
So fans call in, chop it up with me. Sometimes I'll be on there for like 2 hours. And I can stop it whenever I want. And then I got another one from November to June on a different station to where it's always through the NBA season. And I just kicked off my podcast with the same organization. It's called Unfiltered with Kenny Thomas. It's on Amazon, Apple, Spotify. It just came out. I'm like in episode 4, and I got a co-host and different stuff. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
I'm diversified, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
I will say this about Kenny.
Hey,
You know,
Trevor, have you been on the New Mexico show yet?
no, not at
Not
all.
yet.
I ain't even been invited to his golf tournament
know,
or
man.
anything.
Wait a
Yeah,
minute,
got a
wait
little
minute.
dinner.
Annabelle drinking
Hold up,
with you?
Annabelle.
She bringing you
I ain't no
plates?
vegetarian girl. I need some meat. I need some chicken, some turkey, some hamburger, something, girl.
Can I get a biscuit?
What's up with you, baby?
I can't even get a
Is that your
biscuit.
wine you drinking right there? I know it is.
He
I know
sent
it
his
is.
back, and you didn't even get a biscuit, kid.
You don't care.
Okay.
You don't
Sad
care.
state of
Oh,
Yeah.
you grab one?
You don't care.
Right.
Hey, tell him to get off that wine.
No,
man.
no,
KC
that's it.
legacy wine.
No,
bro.
that's his own brand, though, baby.
I know that.
That's his own brand.
He told me last night, but I still gave him my number.
I'll say this about Kenny real quick, though, guys, and this is the honest
Oh,
truth.
man.
He gave me a lot of props for helping him out. And
man.
you know how it is when you're a teacher. If your student not willing to listen, you're not a good teacher.
Can't
And
do
I've
it.
been trying to teach you Whitey for like 2 years, but
I'm not
you're
listening.
reluctant to
I'm not
listen.
listening.
Oh, there's my boy Steve Berline. We got Steve Berline
Stevie
coming up
B.
here, and
Stevie
Super
B.
Bowl champion, baby.
Steve.
How you doing,
Yes, sir.
Steve? We gonna get
How are
you on
ya?
in a few. We
Yeah.
gonna get you on in a few.
Yeah.
See, I was
yeah.
first, though. I don't care about the Super Bowl.
How'd y'all shoot today? What was your
Texas.
final score?
I don't know. I didn't have the card.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
they're
man,
doing all
I
that.
didn't get nothing.
You don't have a card?
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
No, you know, one
I don't
person
know what I
keeps
want.
the card.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm good. I promise. I'm good. I'm just.
Hey,
I promise.
we on the air right now.
I'm good.
We on
I'm
the
good,
air
thank
right
you.
What,
Yeah.
what that mean?
now. We talking, Annabelle.
I talk on the air all the time.
I'm trying to work here, girl.
After he got his plate, y'all.
All right, go ahead, Whitey. Take it away, man. It's off the rails right now.
Yeah.
I know that's your name, but
Yeah.
come on, bro.
It's a nickname.
He's like, it's
It's a
2025,
nickname.
right?
What am I going to do? People keep calling that. You know,
No
that's what they call
comment.
me.
No comment.
What can I do, Kenny? You know, I remember when they traded for you, and I was telling people, Kenny Thomas is good.
I
Yeah.
appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Them
people didn't
do
like
too.
that because Chris Webber was in the trade, but
Yeah.
hey.
But unfortunately, he wasn't Chris Webber anymore. I mean, he just
Yeah.
wasn't.
See, but when I came here, it was different. Like I came from playing with AI
Yeah.
and playing on that platform because he was like a rock star wherever we went. But then I came here to Sacramento, being able to play with Mike Bibby and some of the amazing guys, Brad
Mhm.
Miller. It was a different culture. I was winning. I was always on TV even more. But it's just one of those things. I still got my house here in Sacramento, and Sacramento always got a place in my heart.
We
You
were
know
just
what I mean?
talking to Errol Presley about that.
Right.
He said the first time he came here, flew here for the draft interview, he said, I think I could spend the rest of my life there. I mean, I know it's probably happens around the league, but a lot of people come to Sacramento and they stay here, Kenny.
Yeah, it's not small, but it's the capital for California, right? But it reminds me of Albuquerque, but it's just on a bigger
Mhm,
scale,
mhm.
Right.
Because there's more people, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
But
Yeah.
the community, like I can't go anywhere without somebody calling me K9 or something like that.
Yeah.
But it still feels good.
Mhm.
Just being able to come back because as you get older, out of sight, out of mind, especially if I'm not here as much, people have a tendency to forget, but I still get love.
How far do you drive the ball in Albuquerque with the altitude?
Oh,
Boom,
if,
huh?
if I hit it right, I'm a lefty like Kyle. If that thing don't bend,
Right.
I got a pretty good shot.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
You are invited to my golf tournament.
Yes, please.
September 6th in New Mexico.
I will be there.
Jay, you
Look
know
at
you
Jay.
always
Jay
love
throwing
Jay.
his hand.
Hey, K9 ain't play.
He kicking me off.
I know OP is ready. Old
Hey,
Apology's
I'm out.
ready to jump on.
Hey, Sacramento, follow me, Kenny Thomas NBA. I got a lot of stuff popping.
Kenny Thomas, thank you
Thanks,
so
Kenny.
much. You might give me some KT.
We'll be right back with Olden Polynese from Rancho Murrieta. Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This is Secret Clinical dominating extra stinky stress wet. And this is regular deodorant. Secret Clinical in a heat wave.
Oh, what a beautiful day.
This is regular deodorant.
Ugh, I can't.
Secret Clinical with workout sweat.
Let's run another marathon.
And regular deodorant.
How much more?
Secret is the GOAT because nothing fights sweat better.
Stay fresher under pressure.
Progressive knows if you have to choose between everyday life and your RV wins.
What, are you going to take the RV to the lake or clean out your closet?
RV wins!
Putting the dishes away or taking the RV camping?
RV wins!
Cleaning the fridge or taking a trip to the beach?
RV wins!
You might want to clean the fridge real quick because, mold.
We clean out the fridge, then take the RV out.
With Progressive, you can bundle your RV with your home or auto and save with a discount and spend more time enjoying those savings in your RV. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states and situations.
Louis C.K. in an all-new show, Ridiculous 2025 Tour.
When I was younger, you had to go in the bank. Remember that? You had to go inside the bank. Now you look in the bank, you're like, what are those people doing in there? Are they cleaning? The money's out here.
Friday and Saturday, June 13th and 14th, 8 p.m., the venue at Thunder Valley. For tickets, visit thundervalleyresort.com. Louis C.K. live on stage.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave here for American Energy, and oh my goodness, I'm born and raised here. I know it gets hot, but my goodness, we're already seeing 100-degree days. Listen to me. You do not want your system to conk out in the middle of June or July or August with one of those big 100-degree stretches. You want to make sure you're good all summer long. And my friends at American Energy Heating and Air can do that with a $24.50 tune-up right now. That's half price. And if you need a new system, $3,500 off, up to $3,500 off in rebates for qualified systems. They've been around since 1981, serving the greater Sacramento area. A+ with the Better Business Bureau. Call them right now, 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990. Jingle Singers, take it away.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Your local sports leader in the 916.
KHTK HD1 Sacramento. KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, Sacktown Sports 1140. Live and local, it's the Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sacktown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sacktown Sports app.
Rancho Murrieta. Here we are. To Drive Guys at the Drive for Impact Celebrity Golf Classic. Drapes has made it in. We got the great Olden Polonese. Nice enough to join us. His question is, where's Carmichael Dave at? That's what he wants.
You remember that dude, Carmichael Dave? You remember him?
I remember him.
Yeah. How are you?
I'm wonderful, man. I'm on this side of the dirt. I'm happy.
It sounds like you were just knocking down every putt imaginable today.
Yeah. I don't know what happened. I had an out-of-body experience or something. I literally knocked from the first putt on down. I think I made like the first 5 birdies. Just knocked them in. Roll. I'm talking about like 25 feet. Roll.
Yeah.
Whatever they were. I was just knocking them in.
Yeah. And OP brought a couple of his teammates over and
confirm.
they
Vouch for
confirm
him,
the
right?
story.
Right.
Yeah.
You got to have witnesses out
to
there.
confirm.
Right.
But like I tell y'all, I'm 60 years old. I can't be lying anymore. Them days have been over.
How was it out there, though? Just the tournament, the event, the weekend. Hot, right? Right?
No, but the tournament itself is a great event, great cause.
Yes.
And we need more people finding out and being aware, being made aware of this, because it's a problem it's insane when you think about it, and the fact that Sacramento is number one in human trafficking is the most egregious thing I could hear.
Yes, this event, as we've mentioned, it supports victims of human trafficking, domestic violence, and hardship. Yeah, and there's far too much of it anywhere, but especially, and I was surprised, OP, I didn't realize it's such an issue here in Sacramento. That's shocking.
It blew me away. And you know what upsets me? And it's always this way with people, we don't notice until it hits us.
Yeah.
Right.
And unfortunately, or fortunately for us, for a lot of us, we haven't had to deal with it. But there's so many other people that are dealing with it, and we have to do our parts, man. To help our fellow man and woman and child. So I'm hoping that the word gets out more and more.
Yeah, Olden Polynese joining us here on the Drive, guys. Sacktown Sports. OP, tell us what you up to now, man.
I am up to whatever needs to be up to. When they ask me what am I doing, whatever needs to be done. So, working for Fox Sports. I'm in the process of writing my autobiography, and it's going to be interesting because I go hard. I go hard within the book as far as like the story, and I love sharing my stories with people. And so it's a wonderful book. It's my life in the NBA and everything that happened in between. And just hopefully that it will help some young player coming in, no matter what it is, whether it's having the right agent, marriage, divorce, whatever, maneuvering through whatever it is. I think I've experienced it all. So, and also I have another book, which is a cookbook that I'm doing.
What?
Yeah, my cookbook's going to be interesting because every meal has a story to it.
Okay.
In regards to a part of my life.
Yeah.
And so, and if I could share one right quick.
Please.
One of them is when I was 13 years old, I was at the pool with my dad and my siblings, and a young lady, 13-year-old girl, very pretty. I dive in the deep end. I forgot one thing. I can't swim.
Oh.
So I'm over here drowning, literally drowning. And all I could think about is I'm not going to be able to eat my mom's cooking later on that day.
Okay.
And so the meal that she was making is one of those meals. And so it's like whatever experience I've had, there's a meal tied to it.
Right. One of the things, and I was talking to you, OP, the other day, you were on Byron Scott's podcast, I believe, and you keep it real. And I don't want you to tell any stories right here because it's a family show. But what is it about, the book that, makes you want to just be raw, unfiltered, tell it like it is?
Because that's who I am. And sometimes it was to my detriment. But at the same time, again, I'm too old to lie. I believe that lies come between ages 8 and 12. And after that, you guys start telling the truth. And so it's my truth. And I know within the truth, and I'm not trying to hurt people, because if that was the case, I would have written a book 15 years ago when I was offered $1 million, to name the names. But again, I still need to get my book out there and get those stories and the experiences. And also to help, and it's also a way for me to exercise demons as well. And the thing about my book is everything I talk about is from my perspective, my 2 eyes, everything I've experienced. So there's no libel, there's none of that stuff. I'm not trying to hurt anybody. I mean, if I name somebody, it'll be in reference to like, okay, my first game was against Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to be like, oh yeah, the sexual encounter with such and such. I'm not going to
get into that. Yeah. Okay. Yep.
Can we ask?
I'm not going to out people.
We talked about last week on our show the fact that you were on the Byron Scott podcast, and you talked about this whole Michael Jordan, Kobe thing, and LeBron. And I know that's been done to death, but I thought your answer was really interesting. Would you be willing to share, for those who didn't hear, why you put MJ and Kobe ahead LeBron?
Well, there's so many components to that answer, and
Sure.
I tried to explain to people the fact that even though I said Michael first, I said not necessarily in any order.
Yeah, yes,
Because
yes.
it's like I can say Michael, Kobe, LeBron. I can say Kobe, Michael, LeBron. I can say Kobe, LeBron, Michael. I can say LeBron, Michael, Kobe. LeBron, Kobe, Michael. It doesn't matter.
Right.
And I would still be correct.
Right, I understand.
But they're three great players.
Yes.
The problem that I have with people is that they want me to pick one.
Right,
I'm
right.
not going to disrespect those three, and I will definitely not disrespect Kareem Abdul-Jabbar,
Thank
Will
you.
Chamberlain, Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, Charles Barkley. I'm not going to just. All these men were great people. Oscar Robertson.
Yeah.
And also with those guys, they were doing it in the 60s with civil rights, with crappy Converse shoes.
Man,
Can't
back to back.
Right.
Riding on the bus.
Can't stay in the same hotel room with your teammates. So I want the young people today to please. I know we're in this world of, right here, right now, but you have to give respect to the men before you because we are all standing on their shoulders. All of us. You ain't making 30, 40, 50 million dollars a year unless Oscar Robertson did what he did. Unless Kurt Flood did what he did.
Man. OP, one of the things that I've always appreciated is just what Drapes had talked about. You kept it a buck in my time going back with you at Fox Sports Radio and all those good things. One of the things that I've never asked you is this. I saw you tweet one time. Someone was talking about you got traded for Scottie Pippen. And you tweeted and said, 17-year career is definitely not to be disrespected. And now I'm paraphrasing. You said it in your own way. And I want to ask you, knowing that people see you versus Scottie Pippen, they see the names and they know Odin Polynice, Scottie Pippen, champion, Chicago Bulls, Jordan, Odin Polynice. What did you mean by that?
This is what I meant by that. First of all, no one knew who the hell Scottie Pippen was. Oh, I'm sorry. Scott Pippen.
Yeah, it was Scott Pippen at first. Yeah, you're right.
Yep. No one knew who the hell he was. If I go to Chicago, and I hate doing if my aunt had testicles, she'd be my uncle.
That's right.
But I hate doing but I will say it in this. I go to Chicago, Scottie goes to Seattle. Scottie doesn't play in Seattle at all. But there's Tom Chambers, Dale Ellis, Xavier McDaniel, Derek McKee. He's not going to find time. And me, I'm going to rebound. Plus, I didn't get migraines, so we're going to win championships. I got Michael with me. Okay? So that's what I'm saying. But what people don't – I'm sorry. What people fail to realize about that trade, it happened the night before.
Okay.
The trade was already consummated. So Seattle had already traded the 5th pick to Chicago. But, of course, with the NBA, you can't,
announce
any trades until after the draft starts. But the deal was already done. And if you watch The Last Dance, Jerry Krause confirms that. We already made the deal because when people watch that, I was about to stand up when Commissioner Stern said with the 5th pick, Seattle Supersonics select. I'm literally getting up because Seattle promised me I'm getting picked at 5. And then he said Scott Pippen. I was like, slumped down. I'm like, oh my God, what happened? I look back at my agent. He's like, yo, relax, it's okay. Then with the 8th pick, Chicago select. Once he said my name, I forgot about Seattle.
Oh, you thought, okay, I'm on to Chicago.
Yeah, that's how y'all want to do it. Okay, bet. I'm whooping your butt when I play y'all.
Yeah,
that was the mentality. I'm like, I'm playing with Jordan. 30, 40 minutes later, we have a trade now.
What would you say was your toughest cover in the NBA? Give me somebody. I know how great you were, especially defensive rebounding. Like you were a beast out there. But who gave you the work? You can keep it real.
Hakeem.
Really?
Hakeem Olajuwon. I tell people all the time, they said, no, not Shaq. I'm like, no, Shaq ran straight line. I step in front of Shaq, he rolls me over, the refs blow the whistle. Yeah, he used his body, but I learned I'm not going to bang with Shaq. I'm going to maneuver. I'm going to, not let him feel me, to make that move. Hakeem Olajuwon, whether it was the dream shake, and I told somebody earlier today, I would rather him hit me with the dream shake than face me up. When he faced you up, it was over. You're getting 2 points, bucket and a foul.
And a foul.
Or you're getting fouled 2 free throws. Those were your options with the King.
What made him so great, though? Was it the quickness, the footwork? What?
Everything you just said.
Wow.
6'10", 6'11", quickness, can jump. We know about his shot blocking.
Yeah.
He can put the ball down, he went low to the ground at 6'10", 6'11".
Mhm.
He didn't dribble high, he dribbled low. And he was strong. And so I was like, man, that was a headache, man.
Yeah, we're catching up.
Barkley was another one.
Catching
See,
up
that
with
was the
older
problem with me.
Polynesians. Yeah.
I had to always guard the toughest cover. And so me, back in the 80s, I never really had an off night. I had Hall of Famers every single night.
Yeah.
Every single night. I had a tough cover, whether it was Kareem, Patrick Ewing, Akeem Olajuwon. Then I ended up getting the Kembe. Then David came in after.
Yeah, David Robinson.
Then David, then Duncan.
Right.
Mutombo. I'm like, dude, when do I get a break?
Olden Polynesians with us.
When do I get a Dwayne Coswell?
Oh, no.
What do you make of the way the center position has changed? And because I think you had the skills, I think you'd be fine in today's game. But what do you think of the way the position has changed?
The center position, there is no center position anymore. In the NBA right now, it's 5 players being out there playing. And they want you to be a stretch 5, stretch 4s and all that. But my argument has always been this. Y'all need to stop thinking that this just became a thing. You guys are just doing more volume. Kevin McHale was shooting 3-pointers. Lambeer was shooting 3-pointers.
Yeah.
We had big shooting 3-pointers.
Right.
It's not a new thing. They're just doing it with volume.
Right.
Like
they get the green light easily. Yeah.
Threes, hard. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Can you imagine Joe Dumas shooting threes?
Right.
Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf shooting that many threes.
Your boy Dale Ellis, somebody like that. Yeah.
Eddie Johnson, Ricky Pierce.
Yeah.
Come on, we've had those guys. They just didn't shoot
volume.
Byron Scott.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Yeah.
Byron averaged like 4 3-pointers a game.
Right. And today's, that's 8. You know what I mean? He averaged at 8 easily out there, 8 to 10 easily. The great Olden Polynesians joining us. OP, how much do you keep up with today's game and our Sacramento Kings out here?
Every game.
Okay.
Really?
Yes,
okay.
Every game, no matter what team. I have NBA package.
Okay.
So I get to see the Kings. I watch all the games.
Okay.
And because I work for Fox, so I have to stay abreast of what's going on. So I watch, and Sacramento's got to make some moves.
Do they have to get younger? What kind of moves do they have to make?
They have to get younger, but at the same time, I think it's a size thing. Sabonis is not a center, so they need to stop playing him at center.
Really?
Sabonis is a 4 that could even play 3.
But hold up, OP. It takes a special person to play with Sabonis, though, right?
I understand that, but he's not a 5.
Okay.
That's why he has problems with Draymond, and that's not good. I would like to see him at his natural position at the 4th spot. Bring in a young big. He doesn't have to be an offensive big, just a big that can take some of the slack off of him defensively.
Right.
My son's available, so I'm hoping.
Okay.
Would that be a real issue for him if he had to defend other 4s? Because he's not a great defender.
He's not a great defender, but he's not a great defender at the 5 either, so it doesn't matter. Defensively, you could put him on a weaker guy, but I'm saying it's psychological with a lot of these guys. Because I'm telling you right now, every time they put him down at the 5 spot, in his mind, he's like, I'm not the 5. That's what he does in his mind psychologically, because I know how it is when I play with guys and nothing's changed. We're like, man, I don't want to play the damn 5 spot today. I don't want to guard him.
Because it's physical to banging? What?
It's a psychological thing. It doesn't matter if it's physical or mental. It's the fact that because in your mind as an athlete, it's like I'm a 4. I'm a small forward. Don't play me at the 5. Some guys, they're able to do. Even Draymond. Draymond will play the 5, but damn well he don't want to play the 5.
Yeah.
How good was Daddy Sabonis?
Oh man, I'm glad.
People have no idea.
I'm glad I didn't catch him before the injuries.
Yeah.
My Lord,
Yeah.
he was a problem. And even after the injuries, when he came in, he was still a tough cover.
Yeah.
Arvidas, he was a problem.
You
ask David Robinson.
One thing with the Kings, we talk about DeMar DeRozan, the mid-range game. Zach LaVine. What do you make of a mid-range guy being your team's leading scorer? Can you win that way nowadays, do you think?
You better, because that's more doable than the three. See, the three has to go in.
Yeah.
That's the problem. Everybody's living and dying by the three, and it bit the Boston Celtics.
Yep, it's Boston
You
this year.
cannot continuously shoot three-pointers and think you're going to beat a lot of teams, because you're giving up good shots for a three-pointer, because some guy who never played basketball, okay, sitting in the analytics office saying the three is better.
Right.
Of course it's better
That's
than
right.
the two
That's
when
right.
it goes in. Only when it goes in. If it doesn't go in, it's a horrible shot. It's a horrible shot, especially when it's defended.
That's our boy, Olden Polynice,
Olden
man.
Polynice,
OP.
yeah. So you would move Sabonis, and you think the Kings need to get younger.
Well, part of the problem also is DeRozan and Levine. I mean, they can't coexist. I'm sorry. They can try it all they want, but they're the same two players. They're the same two exact players. It's almost like Tatum and Jaylen Brown. You know, and
Right.
you still need more. You need a center. You need an active center.
Right.
You know, with that team, you know, that's just like energy. Like a Derek Lively would be perfect.
Oh, perfect. Yeah,
Would be
yeah.
perfect
I
for
would
the
love
Kings.
to have
Mm-hmm.
Derek
He
Lively.
would
Yes.
be perfect for the Kings.
Yeah.
A guy like that can catch that lob.
Catch the lob, vertical lob threat, vertical threat. Yep. No, you're right about
I
that.
like Keegan, but they messed with his head a little bit this past year.
Just by not giving him the opportunities he should have offensively.
I don't know what's going to happen with Lavaria, but I like him too. So.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, OP. Thank you very much.
All right,
We
my
very much
Dave.
appreciate your
Enjoy
time.
your time out here, man.
I
Yeah.
appreciate y'all.
Yeah. I'll take a quick time out. We're coming right back to Rancho Murrieta. It's a drive, guys, and we're coming to you today from the Drive for Impact Celebrity Golf Classic. More guests next. Sacktown Sports.
Capital Casino, conveniently located on 411th North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento.
This is Secret Clinical dominating extra stinky stress sweat. And this is regular deodorant. Secret Clinical in a heat wave. Oh, what a beautiful day. This is regular deodorant. Ugh, I can't. Secret Clinical with workout sweat. Let's run another marathon. And regular deodorant. How much more? Secret is the GOAT because nothing fights sweat better. Stay fresher under pressure.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
A little rough. It was rough for me today, too. How was it for you out here
It was
today?
better today than it was yesterday. That's for sure. That's
Yeah.
for sure. But we had a lot of fun, man. The guys I played with, they weren't too serious. You know, one guy had the money. He was throwing up all the dough.
Oh, was he? Okay. All right.
So it came out to be really cool. It came out to be a really cool event. It felt like locker room. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? We just teased each other and played the game. We
Yep.
had a good time. The
Yep.
sun was
It was out today. It was out by about a whole 13, 14. I was like, no mas. I was tapping out.
I felt like somebody turned it up. Like
I
was like, what had happened?
Yeah, right. They were preheating the oven out there,
Yeah.
right?
Daryl Pollard, nice enough to join us. I guess you don't wear your Super Bowl rings all the
I
time.
do, man. I do. I had it on earlier, and I put it away, but I probably need to go get it again. But, yeah, I didn't. It was hot, man. I stopped thinking. That's why I put it away, because I don't want to remember what I did with it. So I locked it up. I'll pull it out later.
Yeah. Are you still in your heart a 49er?
I'm always bleeding, man. Red and gold, man.
Yeah, yeah.
You know? Look. It's the Bay Area. At the end of the day, all of us athletes, we support each other, right?
Mm-hmm.
We win championships separate. You know what I'm saying? Because we got the Raiders. Well, they used to be in the Bay.
Yeah.
Raiders on one side, the Niners on the other. So, but the love that we've always had for each other, we've always supported each other. Like Jeff Barnes just had his 70th birthday, and his wife had me come through, and Bubba was there, and a lot of Niners came to that. And all
really?
Nice.
Okay.
It was nice.
Okay.
So, we do share a lot of commonality because at the end of the day, we just got on different jerseys all doing the same job, right? So, we have a good time at it, but we're going to always respect each other.
How much you keep up with the Niners to this day? And, I'll be honest with you, DP. I'm an Eagles fan, tried and true, baby. Jalen Hurts is my boy. Niners ain't win in a few decades. What's going on with the franchise, man?
So, how can I say this?
We don't pull any punches here.
We keep
First of all, let me just say it like this. I'm a fan of the Eagles and what they did because I really appreciated how Jalen Hurts stayed the course, what went on in Alabama, how he kept pursuing it and kept going all the way through it.
Yeah.
And then one of my best friends, man, is Fred Barnett. So we stay.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
Shoot. Okay.
We talk every day pretty much.
Right?
All
right. Yeah.
So, he overdoing this thing. His wife is one of the executives of Bacardi. So, he's out on the islands and the whole bit chilling. And, we talk about the cigars and different whiskeys because he got his little collection. So we always chit-chat. And we used to coach together with football universities as well. So me and Fred always have been tight. So there's that connection with the Eagles. That's about as far as
That's about it. All right. That's about it.
Yeah.
What's the mindset of playing corner? Obviously, I would think it's a little different. I don't know because, when the other team throws a deep pass, everyone's looking at the corner. You got to obviously be aware of that. Can't back down from that. And how does that mentality that I would assume you embrace for that, how does it help you beyond football?
So, the never quit, the never feel like you've ever been defeated will always continue as you move along on, once you leave the game. But inside the game, when you look at players today, and no disrespect to coaches and all these different systems, like I talk to a lot of kids that are in college. What I don't get now is they have safety coaches and they got corner coaches. And the corners and the safeties, they're not even sitting in the same room studying the game together. Whereas we won championships, Ray Rhodes brought the linebackers in and we studied the game so that linebackers would actually understand.
Because you're all working together.
Exactly. Right. There's a continuity that needs to happen, because there's a lot of coordinators out there that all they think about is the D-line and linebackers. And I think that comes from the 4-3 thought process more so than the 3-4 concept. But from that perspective, we all were on the same page and we didn't become really successful in being really great. Offense is going to always be offense. But on the defensive side, when we found that out, and our linebackers, the Mike Walters and guys that don't cover people, they had to learn what was going on with the route combinations, how to do things. Your inside backers play a really, really big impact. That's why you have the Ray Lewises. That's why you have the Fred Warners. Those guys are on their own are taking on themselves to understand the passing combinations and know where to be and how to make it, as well as the run, right? But then your safeties have to be strong with the run as well when they come up, right? The corners got to know when the safety's doing that so they know I don't have help in the middle or I don't have help in the outside from maybe the wheel, sliding outside on, take away the out, right? So for us corners, we can't take away everything. You have to be smart. You have to be strong in your technique. You have to be strong and no matter what you do and go out and play. That's the confidence builder. Where's my help? How good am I in my technique? What defense are we playing? Situational ball. That's how you become great.
And it's hard to know what help you have when you guys and safeties are in separate rooms.
Right. You're not even worked out together.
Right. So I don't understand that concept. It doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah. ADP, Darryl Pollard joining us, 49ers great play cornerback for the 49ers. Is the shutdown corner non-existent today, do you think?
I think anytime you have an athlete, we'll see if Hunter becomes that person in the NFL, right? Because we're seeing highlights of him running more routes. I saw one highlight of him, getting an interception playing DB. But again, that's against your own team and you're in reps.
Yeah.
So you can start to kind of guess what's going to happen, right?
Right.
When people start game planning for you, let's see what happens with him then. I think that the kid has a lot of skills and he can play both sides of the ball, but can he do it week in and week out? That's a lot of football. I remember just as a corner and playing on a lot of special teams in Tampa, 90-degree heat, 83% humidity. And at halftime, I was looking for new clothes because I was dripping so much.
Yeah.
I did 90 plays that one game. I was tore up. I was so tired.
All on defense, huh?
Defense and special teams,
too.
right.
Yeah,
it was like killing me, right?
Yeah.
And you're in that heat.
Yeah.
Like when I played at Tampa and we were 4-0. In 93, we were 4-0. And everybody thought, Tampa's going to be great. I said, no. I said, we're not good yet. And everybody looked at me like I was crazy. I said, no one knows how to play in this heat but us. We practicing this every day.
Right.
Right?
Once that heat go away.
I said, you see guys with their tongues dragging, on one knee in the second quarter. That ain't going to happen no other place else. So our first 4 games were at home in the heat.
Mm-hmm.
After that, it went,
Dang.
it was crash and burn, right?
Yeah.
And that was with Sam White, who's a great coach.
Yeah.
And Floyd Peters, who's very well known as a great defensive coordinator.
Yeah.
Right? No, we weren't there yet. The continuity with the players hadn't gotten there yet.
Yeah. Daryl Pollard, is it, I don't mean to ask a leading question, is it difficult to watch the game the way the rules have changed and gone even more towards offense than they used to be?
No, I mean, to be honest with you, can't touch anybody after 5 yards, and all that kind of stuff. That was already there, right? Yeah. It was it's like the NBA. Who you going to let push and who you going to let travel?
Yeah.
That's what it was. You had to earn your keep in NFL to keep from getting those calls, right? So when I first came to the league, it was easy for a referee to say PI or did something until they start to know that you were good and people were talking about
really?
it. Then they start letting you get away with a little bit more. And that's what we call a rookie versus an experienced player. You figure out how the referees are going to call against your play.
Right. And
you play to your advantages depending on how they're going to let you play. Right? Just like in the NBA, it's the same thing, right? Yeah. So, no, at the end of the day, if anything, they're saving them because they're not putting their heads in their places and all that. We didn't teach that anyway. Everything, Ronnie Lott was about the chest. If you go and you look at all his hard hits, it's never with his head. He was running through people with his whole upper body.
Oh, okay.
Right? So if you talk to Ronnie, he may be a little bit sometimes slow in speech, but he's always been that way because he's delicate about what he says and how he says it, right? But it's not because of his hard hits from hitting with the head. He may be a little bit slow because of all the hits that he gave, but that's it, man. That's it.
Daryl Pollard joining us. TP, let me ask you about Joe Montana and Steve Young for that matter, too. When you talk about the game's great quarterbacks, everybody talks about Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady. I feel like this younger generation don't know about Joe and Steve. Tell me about those two guys.
I mean, I think the difference of it is everybody has a different form of the West Coast offense. And so what we're seeing now is athletes. Not saying Joe wasn't an athlete because Joe was an awesome athlete. And I could tell you there were times when we were practicing red zone and he's acting like he's going to throw it at me in the last minute. He released the ball, left of me, and threw it to someone else. And I thought I had picked him. And he looked at me and pointed at me and laughed because he knew I was like, because I wanted that pick. Right. So he's a great athlete. But what I'm seeing now is that the quarterback position has changed.
Yeah.
The type of talent that's in that position now has changed. Also, what has changed is I see a lot of coaches overthinking the game.
Right now.
Okay. Like if you look at, and again, I'm not trying to call anybody out, but sometimes I think Shanahan's offense is too complex and he doesn't let his athletes be athletes because he treats everybody like a chess piece, right? Not knowing that he's doing it because he's just trying to create things, right? Whereas Bill was an orchestrator. Bill said at 3 steps when you drop Joe, here's your outlet. That's not take 2 more steps. 5, here's the next route. 7, here's your next route. Dump it off. You saw that pattern and you saw that orchestrate every time. So Bill was always on guys about their step routes and how they would run their routes so they would be open at certain times, right? We saw a lot of that, right?
Yeah.
It's just different. It's just different
nowadays.
Yeah. It's just different. But the thing about it is what I would love to see in the NFL is if You know how you watch a basketball game and at halftime they put green and red spots where everybody shoots at?
Yeah.
I love to see them do that with the football so you can see where the ball's being thrown at. Because I don't care what they do, they're all being thrown in the same places.
Each team, you're saying each team is
no matter how you devise it.
Right. So if you start looking at it from a yardage perspective, you'll start seeing what teams like to focus on certain areas of the field because they feel like that's their strength with the offensive plays they're calling versus the defenses they're up against.
Yeah.
That would be cool to see.
That would be.
Do you feel like something was lost with the 49ers? I feel this way. I understand it's business, but, Candlestick Park was something unique. It wasn't great, but it was unique. Then you go to the new building. It took them a while to establish something there. But wasn't there some mystique about the old Candlestick that the 49ers miss in a way?
For a fan, probably so.
Yeah.
For the players, all you care about is the field. I played when they had a baseball field. It didn't matter.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
It really didn't. I mean, you think about it, like Philly. They had dead spots. They had dead spots. You would step in certain places.
Carpet out there,
They would roll up and all kind of shit. You in the locker room, you see a rat in the corner. This is some difference. No, I mean, these guys got it great now. It's so plush. Everything is so freaking plush. Like, I go in the locker room and I'm going, damn, these some nice lockers.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Even college.
Even the lockers,
Even college now.
Yeah,
It's all about recruiting. When you go in, they got lights in the locker room and, I mean, in your own locker. It's crazy. Like, these kids are spoiled. They have no idea. And probably the generation before me thought we were spoiled.
You guys were.
Yeah.
How about the weight rooms now and everything? Come on now.
I remember when at Weber State, we had this thing that was, they didn't even have a gym.
Uh-huh.
You remember that little circuit that everybody would lift weights? In a circle, and you just go in a circle. They had like 3 or 4 of them, and then all of a sudden they brought in the guy from I think he came from Army, and he came to us, and all of a sudden he put all Nollis equipment. Remember when they had Nollis before his 24 hours?
Yeah.
We had all, and we would do that negative lifting and that kind of thing where somebody's pulling the plates as you're going to get you strong. And so you went through all that. Now you see, man, like these schools and their weight rooms are phenomenal.
Yeah.
I mean, the what they do to get these guys in shape. Now, here's the other part. Let me ask y'all this. Do you think athletes last longer or they get hurt a lot quicker? Even though they got all this, they got the food, the lift, and all these specialties, but I see way more injuries.
Seems like it.
Yeah.
Right?
Why do you think that is?
Could some of that be because of the money where a guy who's got the money is like, I'm out, whereas they don't have as much desire to play when they're getting so much money, even in college.
Right, because you guys, there were injuries, but y'all played through them back then, too.
You had no choices. I was on the cusp of free agent. Remember Plan B?
Yep.
I was part when Plan B when they were just poking at it, right? So that was different. But at the same time, and there was no practice squad.
Right.
There was no practice squad. So they have only 6 guys can be on IR. And then when they got on IR, they're on IR for 4 to 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Right? So if you put somebody on IR, they were real careful, right?
Yeah.
So you got 47 players. It was 45, then it jumped to 47. 2 of them are kickers. Okay, so just think about it. There's not a whole lot of leeway there, right?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
Numbers game.
So that's what it was. But now they got this plethora of people that they can choose from, with the practice squads, right? And they can look at other teams' practice squads, and if they got to go through the waiver process, they may get snatched.
Yep.
Right. So there's a whole lot that's changed in that aspect of it.
Well, thank you very much for coming by. It's
Hey, man, I
pleasure.
Good stuff, my guy, man.
Daryl Pollard.
Thank you, guys.
Love
man.
having you up here.
Love
Champion. We'll be back with more from Rancho Murrieta Drive Guys, Sacktown Sports. When our old heater collapsed with a heavy sigh, we needed a new one in the worst way, but there are so many HVAC companies out there. How do you choose? A friend recommended we check out Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating, leesair.com. Glad we did. Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating was ready to come out. The day we called, they treated us with respect, from the person who answered the phone to the guys who installed our new HVAC unit, which is an amazing unit. It's keeping us cool now, too. So why choose Lee's? They offer 100% satisfaction guarantee. They get 4.8 stars on Google. They've won awards with their service, and they've spent more than 40 years serving the Valley's HVAC, heating, and plumbing needs. You can trust Lee's with installation and repair of your AC, furnace, and water heater, plus residential and commercial plumbing repair, commercial HVAC services, too. You can find out more at leesair.com. Check out their mission statement, which is all about serving customers and community. Check out their $99 HVAC tune-up service. You want to let Lee's take care of you the way they took care of me treating us like family while setting us up with an HVAC system that has improved our quality of life and the air that we breathe. Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating, license number 635355.
Go from daydreamer to industry leader with Amazon Business. From office supplies to IT essentials, Amazon Business provides tools that help you save costs and make insight-based decisions. Learn how to bring your visions to life at AmazonBusiness.com.
Ooh, ma. What was that? That is business phone bliss with the Ooma Cloud phone system. It handles all our voice, video, and messaging needs. You sound very calm. I am. Ooma has everything I need to run my business more efficiently, like virtual receptionist, call routing, and video conferencing. And it starts at just $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees. Ooma. Nice. Find your business comm at ooma.com/radio.
Right now, get a $15 gift card after rebate with the purchase of select AC Pro refrigerant products at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
When you're young, life is full of choices. Don't let opioids like highly addictive and deadly fentanyl take away your life with just one wrong pill. Addiction is a disease that can affect anyone at any age. But there is a choice to get help for this disease. Find medically proven treatment options, including virtual, at choosemat.org.
Staples presents That Was Easy.
So I was taking my side hustle full-time.
Bold move, my friend.
And I needed to find everything in one stop.
Like finding Bigfoot riding a unicorn.
Yes, so I hit the Staples Easy button. Staples had everything for a new office and print services for signs and brochures. Plus, Cindy, the Staples associate, helped me find the best tech for me.
Wait, no drama?
No, Staples made it easy.
For the products, services, and experts your business needs. Staples.
That was easy.
In-store, online, and on the app.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm. Chuck McDowell here again. Over the years, I've seen way too many timeshare exit companies pop up, take folks' money, and disappear. I just saw an ad from an exit company started by a couple of bozos that used to work for me. My advice, don't hire bozos I'll fire. Want out of your timeshare? I'll send you our free timeshare exit info kit explaining your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley for your free kit. 800-329-3737. That's 800-329-3737. Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Chuck McDowell here again. Over the years, I've seen way too many timeshare exit companies pop up, take folks' money, and disappear. I just saw an ad from an exit company started by a couple of bozos that used to work for me. My advice, don't hire bozos I'll fire. Want out of your timeshare? I'll send you our free timeshare exit info kit explaining your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley for your free kit. 800-329-3737. That's 800-329-3737.
This is Secret Clinical Dominating Extra Stinky Stress Sweat. And this is regular deodorant. Secret Clinical in a heat wave.
Oh, what a beautiful day.
This is regular deodorant.
Ugh, I can't.
Secret Clinical with workout sweat.
Let's run another marathon.
And regular deodorant.
How much more?
Secret is the GOAT because nothing fights sweat better.
Stay fresher under pressure.
Finally, an easy way to find home improvement contractors. Just visit subcontractorsunited.com and simplify your search for home services professionals. From cabinets to windows, roofing to plumbing, Subcontractors United is an easy, simple way to find and hire a home improvement contractor. And you never have to give up personal information. So no harassing phone calls like you get from those other websites. Subcontractorsunited.com is sponsored by D&D Cabinets and Savage Design.
Alan Stiles here with your Sacktown Sports Injury Update, brought to you by Downtown LA Law Group. Shea Langoliers exited a game last week after experiencing discomfort following a swing. The A's will have more information as to the severity of the injury after he undergoes further testing. Miguel Andujar, out with that right oblique strain, suffered it during a swing as well. He will be out a couple weeks, if not longer, per the A's Director of Sports Medicine and Rehabilitation, Brian Shulman. That was your Sacktown Sports Injury Update, brought to you by Downtown LA Law Group. Hey, I'm Alan Stiles. Have an injury? Call Downtown. Downtown LA Law Group, an injury law firm, has many happy clients in Sacramento and the surrounding areas who have called Downtown. Get paid for your injuries from slip and falls or auto accidents. One of their most recent settlements was $1.5 million for a motorcycle accident. Have you had an auto accident? Call Downtown. Text injury help to 40222. That's injury help to 40222 and visit them at calldowntown.com.
Skeeter here. Got a question. What's small and dark with white bands on its legs and bites during the day?
Mosquitoes. Hi, I'm Luz Maria Robles, but these are 2 new types of day-biting mosquitoes. They're invading our area and becoming a big problem.
And they can be dangerous.
But we're on it, so when you see them, report it at fightthebite.net. In the meantime, use insect repellent and drain stagnant water around your yard.
We're here to help with these day-biting mosquitoes.
Visit us at fightthebite.net.
This is the story of the one.
Crap, even though my boy Jay had my back, and I'm sure Drapes is out there doing well. He killing it out there.
Everybody we asked, people would hear us talk about you. They would all go, thumbs down. We go, really? And then they go, nah. They go, no, he's.
Hey, my I'm not here for my play. I'm here for my personality.
Mhm.
That's why they got me.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. And we got another celebrity with us. Yeah. Michael, you get in here. Quinton Aaron with us. How are you, Quinton? Thanks for your time. What's going on?
Chilling, man. Having a good time out here supporting a great cause. I didn't golf too well, so we ain't gonna get into what the score was.
Welcome to the club. Welcome to the club.
But best ball is cool because then you
Right.
win on your team. So
right,
it's all good.
Yeah, yeah,
yeah. Obviously, Quinton Aaron, well-known actor, obviously played Michael Orr in The Blind Side.
Mhm.
Just take me through your career. When did acting you get that bug, and when did that start out?
Oh man, it started at an early age for me. I was before I knew what acting was or that I wanted to be an actor, I was just driving my mom crazy at home.
right.
Like I would come home from school and escape into my own little made-up worlds of me trying to be Batman or Michelangelo, the Orange Ninja Turtle. And then when it was time to go to church and I put on my suit, I felt like I needed to be the Black James Bond.
Really?
So like
You really thought that? You thought that?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I told my mom I'm gonna be the first Black James Bond because I seen I grew up with Sean Connery doing it, and it was Pierce Brosnan and stuff like that. So I was like, oh, they're switching character. Okay, I'm gonna be 007. I'm gonna be a spy. And I thought I looked pretty good in the suit. So I was like working on my British accent and everything. So it was funny as a little kid.
Yeah.
Really?
So when you
That's
found
pretty cool.
out that there were actors and that it was taught and you could learn how to do it, that must have been like the greatest thing ever for
Oh
you.
man, it was awesome because so my mom got tired of me driving her crazy around the house, and
Yeah.
she signed me up for drama in school.
Yeah.
When I did my first stage play, this is how I got the bug. I used to get bullied in school. I wasn't popular. Kids didn't like me. I got teased. I got beat up. I got chased home. Everything. When I did my first stage play, I did such a good job that I got a standing ovation from the school.
First time. Yeah.
Even the kids in the crowd that I could see that didn't like me was
Right.
clapping.
Right.
And so I was like, wow, this is crazy.
What did you play, or what was the role, or what were you?
It was during Black History Month.
Uh-huh.
And they did a I don't know what the name of the play was, but it was a deep character for a 9-year-old.
That's amazing.
9-year-old.
My God.
And then growing up in church and then also singing, because I started singing at
Yeah.
4 or 5 years old, I had to sing a song in the play. And so I can't remember now what it was. That was like 30-something years ago.
But you loved it, huh?
I loved it, and the audience loved it.
Yeah.
I did pretty good. I won my first talent show when I was 7, I was thinking, "Who's Loving You" by Michael Jackson.
Okay, all right. Okay.
Yeah, it's Quinton Aaron with us. That's incredible.
Yeah, Quinton, let me, you played a number of roles. Is there any one role that you remember where it was extra challenging, whether it's you had to get deep or it was so far removed from the person you are, in real life?
Yo, all right, so I'm gonna drop a little exclusive.
Ooh, okay, that's what we like over here.
So I have a movie coming out sometime this summer called War Dogs.
Okay.
And it's an ensemble piece. Got Michael Beach, Kadeem Hardison, Lawrence Jacobs, Golden Brooks from Girlfriends, Jill Marie Jones, Raven Simone, a lot of names. Walter Jones, the first Black Power Ranger.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Okay.
So they're just dropping names. But it's like, so you ever see Red Dawn?
Yeah. Red Dawn, yeah.
So it's just like if Red Dawn hit the hood in South Central LA. That's the best way I know to explain it.
Okay.
Like, it's fire because the character I play, without giving too much away, he leader of a gang, kind of like ran the town, the crowd, and everything. But then he's like forced to team up with police, and, people in the community that he's been destroying for all these years to fight against a bigger adversary. You know what I mean? Which is the people that try to take over, like on Red Dawn. So, it's deep. It's a lot of action. It's a lot of drama. A lot of great actors who came together, and it was just like we became family. We shot this project. I love it. I can't wait to see it. It's gonna be coming out this summer. I'm not exactly sure when.
Okay.
And I can't really drop for who's putting it out yet because I don't know if that's been
okay.
Yeah,
All right.
so,
Who's distributing?
Yeah. So like, I'm trying to find out the information. I'm trying to find out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Stay tuned to my social media because like when I know, y'all know.
That's
Cause
all
I-
right. Okay.
Looking for that one. Quinton Aaron with us. Yeah.
Q, one of the things following your career, first of all, you're from New York, Bronx, right? Is Bronx?
Yeah, Bronx.
Bronx. Okay. A lot of people I've heard, and this isn't negative, a lot of people have always said you're a gentle giant. You come off as what we've seen in some of the movies that you've played. Interesting that Drake, you talked about playing the opposite. Have you seen that stop you from getting certain roles?
Not really, because the role I play in War Dogs
It's not a gentle giant.
Right.
Okay.
He's scary.
Yeah.
Put it this way, the kids can't watch this one.
Okay.
There's some language in there that the kids can't see.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm a straight up thug in that one. And then on top of that, to drop another exclusive, I booked the lead role in my first action drama, which is going to shoot early 2026 overseas.
Okay.
How far overseas?
Austria and Germany.
Okay.
And Germany. Yeah, so I'm preparing for that. I dropped actually 80 pounds in the last year, getting ready because I'm military in there.
Okay.
What's up, man?
But over the past couple of years, I've been, dealing with some health issues, and it came to this point where I was like, you ever hear that voice that say, "Yo, what are you doing? You trying to die? You trying to live?" Because I went through some depression back in the day, and I became a depressive eater. And because a lot of people don't know, I lost my mom right before doing The Blind Side, so I had to compartmentalize and not grieve, and just take advantage of that moment. So I did all of that without anybody knowing I was.
Wow.
My mom, the reason why I got the role, because she got me the part. Like, she ain't here no more. So like when it kind of got quiet, kind of got quiet, and I couldn't do what I was doing anymore as much. I started like, I don't know, eating all the time, and just like kind of blew up to almost 600 pounds. And then diabetes, all this stuff started happening, and I was just like, you know what, I still want to be here, but I need help.
I was going to ask you, we're a sports station, so a lot of people listening know you best from that movie. I was going to ask you what that was like, but obviously now we just found out what that was like. I had no idea. My goodness.
Well, yeah.
I think a lot of that anyway must have come through, huh?
Yeah, it's like, it's like you ride this high tide at the moment when the movie is on the forefront, but the blessing and the curse of it is because I'm a 6'8", 400 plus, dude, it's not really a lot of roles for me. So unless somebody's looking for someone my size in specific, instead of just thinking about the fact that I'm an actor and I could do
Right,
almost anything,
right,
you know what
right.
I mean? I don't get looked at. I don't even get, and a lot of times it's like other actors, you pair up with them and size comparison don't make sense, so then you can't get the role because of that. I just got to the point where a couple years ago I was like, I want to live. I want to do this. I want to. I still got things to do. You know what I mean? I just got married last year. I want to have a family. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to, get healthier. Over the past couple of years, I lost a total of 175 pounds.
Dang. Okay.
I'm back down to the weight that I was when I shot The Blind Side.
Okay.
Like 16 years ago.
Yeah.
So
Is it hard for you to watch that movie knowing remember what you went through?
No. I love it.
Do
I
you?
love it. I acknowledge. I mean, I appreciate everything that I went through. How hard it was to train and get in shape for it. Because I lost 100 pounds to shoot the movie. I started training like 8 weeks before we started filming, and that was the first time in my life I ever did something like that. So, but it was like I love being challenged.
Okay.
And they told me, no, you can't. We don't do like 70, 75. We don't want to. I said, well, how about 100? Well, we don't want you to be too ambitious.
Right. He was like, okay.
Hey, y'all don't know who you're talking to. Ambitious is my middle
That's what you, yeah.
So I lost 103 pounds in 11 weeks.
What?
Wow.
Yeah, 11 weeks.
11 weeks.
Starving? How'd you get that accomplished, man?
I was eating 5 times a day with the nutritional chef gave me, and training 2 days, 7 days a week. And so, and I was my trainer.
2 months and some change.
Yeah, Eric Ciano. He's actually the strength and conditioning coach for the Buffalo Bills now.
Okay.
He was at Georgia Tech. He trained me through that. He put me through some stuff. And I got myself in trouble one time too because it was funny. I had this date that was supposed to be going on, so I'm texting her, and then he texts me, and so I'm thinking I'm responding to her, and I said. She was like, "Don't you say? I thought you said you had to go to the gym." I said, "Well, I'll just blow my coach off. He'll be cool." But I sent that.
You sent that to him? He made you run even more. Or what?
You busted.
Yeah.
Man,
Quinton Aaron joined us. Hey, let me ask you, because my co-host Whitey here asked you about The Blind Side. When you're at home, do you ever watch yourself, whether Blind Side, Law and Order, whatever you've been in? You can watch it, because I know, I'm on TV, and sometimes I hate, because I've noticed every mistake I make, everything I could do better.
But that's why I watch.
Okay.
That's why I watch, because you can't get better if you don't know what you do wrong.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I like to study myself and what I do, because I always have ways that I feel like I could have done things different. It's like when an athlete watches tape.
Yep.
You know what I mean? You go back and look at the tape. All right, this is what you should have did. This is what you're doing. You know what I mean? So I think it's always cool to watch yourself, because then you understand where you went wrong and how you can increase on your game and change and make it better.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
This is my beautiful wife right here.
Yeah.
Oh, there she is. Look at her.
She needs it for the raffle.
Hey.
Oh yeah.
She the life of the family right there. Life of the family. The heartbeat of the family right there. Yep. Quinton Aaron. All right.
Yeah.
Rich.
Thank you very much for coming by.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Quinton Aaron. Very nice to meet you. We appreciate it. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Very nice to meet
All right,
you.
dude. Appreciate
thank
you, man. Thank you.
Good luck with the new films. Yeah.
Oh man, great stuff here. Drive for Impact annual celebrity golf tournament. Just had Quinton Aaron on there as well. And so
headphones down. Sorry about that. Yeah. What do we have, Jay? What's up?
We got Mr. Dupree here. Marcus
Dupree with us.
Hey, let me first of all, and people on the YouTube can't see you, but you represent OU till you die, huh? You got the Oklahoma
all the way till I die.
Okay.
Do or die.
Okay.
Man, my man was in a movie together.
Oh, you were there with Quinton?
Yeah.
Which one?
We did a movie with John Snyder called To Die For. True story.
Okay.
We were sitting there the other night. And like, bro, when you down at John's studio not long ago? I said, yeah. I said, wasn't you in the movie To Die For? He said, yeah, I was supposed to be I was a sheriff and he's supposed to be my deputy. We never saw each other though.
Really? So you big into the acting things, you know?
I got thrown in some kind of way. I took the ball, put me in, coach.
Did you enjoy it?
I enjoy it. I do.
Yeah.
But that's almost been the story of your life, right? Take the ball, put me in, coach, and I'm running.
Coach, let's go do it. Let's go get it.
Yeah.
We happy to see the way the running back seems to be coming back into the 4 in the NFL.
Yeah, I am. I mean, that's the heartbeat. Run. You get back to the basics. Running the ball, blocking and tackling, and that's what football is. You know, not this over. I hope I grab you. Let's get it back to the 80s, the 70s. You know, football is football. I don't care what they do to try to make it safer. Football is football.
Do you think with the position now, it seems like a running back, probably more so than anybody outside of a quarterback, is asked? You're asked not only to run the ball, block, you got to catch it out the backfield now. Just talk to me about, you got to be a Swiss Army knife if you're in the backfield now.
It's been like that for years. I mean, that's how the offense started. The meat and potatoes, run the ball. You got to get the running game going. Once you get the running game, get the guys coming up, then you throw the ball. You know, with this new offense and all this spread, I hate it. I mean, if I played in the spread, I tell high school kids now back in Mississippi, if I played in the spread in high school, I still be running. They be like, is this guy gonna ever stop running? There's so much space. I mean, these kids don't understand it.
What was it? Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was at a FBU camp, and that's like I called Coach Switzer. I was like, Coach, I'm gonna put up the wishbone and see if any of these kids even understand what the hell that is. So I drew it up on the board, and so I said, do y'all know what offense that is? Everybody's looking around at each other. What is this? I said, the wishbone ain't like the wishbone. What is that?
I ain't never heard of that.
Never heard of that. Never heard of it.
Yeah. What was it like playing in the USFL?
It was great.
Was it?
It was great. We had great audiences.
You guys could have made it, huh? That league could have worked.
Trump messed it up.
Right.
I'm gonna keep it real. Trump messed the whole deal up. And there's a guy who wrote a book about it, and it's a 30 for 30 about it. The small potatoes that killed the USFL, and Trump wouldn't even do the interview talking about it. And you go read the book by Jeff. I can't think Jeff's name. He tells you how Trump was trying to set it up for him to put a team in the league. And so I remember when we were all at this meeting, and Trump and this guy that on the Tampa Bay Bandits was arguing about he wanted to stay in the spring.
John Bassett.
There you go.
Oh, you remember that?
Yeah.
Okay.
He wanted to stay in the spring, but see, he ended up dying from brain cancer. And that's when Trump manipulated the other owners to defunct their team.
And Jeff Pearlman is the author, by the way. Thank you, Jay.
Okay. Jeff Pearlman. And he'll tell you, read it in his book. Trump talks about how he set this meeting up with Pete Rozelle. Pete Rozelle didn't even know why he was there. And Trump was setting it up where, I'll defunct this league and blah, if you can let me get a league and then, get a team.
He just wanted one team, just wanted to get it.
Yeah.
Wow.
His ego.
Yeah, but it was a good league.
You know, it's the first time he got president, he was all dogging the NFL out about, calling Kaepernick. He should make him get up, blah, 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 blah. It was all because the owners wouldn't let him in the league, and he was trying to, once again, that narcissist attitude he got, and where he was, trying to get back at somebody. So
yeah, but you guys had a good thing going.
it was good.
Yeah.
I'm telling
Some
you,
talent
it was
too,
the
right?
best thing ever.
Really?
Yes.
When you look at it, I mean, there's been so many leagues that have come along trying to take on the NFL. I mean, XFL. Tell me about your league and the talent you guys had.
I mean, it was. You think about Steve Young, Herschel Walker.
Wow.
Who else was on that league? Me. It was so many
Kelvin
guys.
Bryant.
Yeah. We didn't
Bobby Hebert.
The thing is, we didn't have to go against the NFL. The spring league was making it. We were averaging 40 to 50,000 people. We had 2 TV contracts.
What?
Yes.
Wow.
I'm telling you, Trump.
That's some big crowds.
Trump. Fuck.
Oh no! Whoa! I know I get you fired up. Marcus Dupree joining us, great running back there at Oklahoma. The 30 for 30 about you. How often you get asked about that and that cautionary
all the time?
tale?
Everywhere I go, I got small kids know who I am now that even born, around, and they see the 30 for 30. I was driving down the highway the other day. A car pulled up to me, and a kid and his mom, and he was just a wave. Kid couldn't be no more 12, and he was just a wave. And I'm like,
yeah.
He's like,
yeah.
So now we about to sign a contract to do a movie. The same people who did Emmett Till and did Mississippi Burning. Mississippi Burning is about my hometown. So
okay,
they're gonna bring it back. And
aren't you from Philadelphia,
Philadelphia,
Pennsylvania?
Yeah. The real brother you love.
Up here, where I'm at, right? Where I'm at.
No, in Philly, Mississippi in the South, baby.
What made you sign off on the 30 for 30? Like, did you want to, help others, or like what made you want to do that?
This guy John Hawk, who produced the 30 for 30, was wanting to do a deal on me way before the 30 for 30 came out. So he had an opportunity to do this, and we didn't know how it was going to turn out. I just wanted to let people know what happened when I was at Oklahoma, and people down in Oklahoma know what happened. And I wasn't homesick. It wasn't that. Me and Coach Switzer just wasn't communicating. If he'd have just came to me and said, "Look, I'm gonna pick on you. You keep carrying that ball, keep carrying the rock like you want to." I was there confused, like, why I'm not doing anything right. I'm going to class. I got straight A's. I'm carrying the ball. I was the only freshman playing, but he wanted to blame everything on me. Like, I don't, my head as a 17-year-old is messed up.
Yeah.
Like, growing up in my hometown and growing up in Philadelphia, my mom was a school teacher. My grandfather was a minister. My mom's brother was a deacon of the church. I was quiet as a church mouse. I did whatever was told for me to do. And I didn't understand because I didn't get in no trouble. I wasn't trying to get no butt whooping. So I didn't understand. Like, they ain't doing nothing wrong. So.
Hey, Marcus, we unfortunately, our show is ending.
Yeah, we
have to go, but we would love for you to come on with us again sometime.
Call
if you have time.
anytime.
Yeah, appreciate
Call me.
Yeah. Marcus Dupree, we'll wrap things up here. Thank you to everybody out here at Rancho Murrieta for having us. We've got Infinity Sports Radio for you next right here on Sacktown Sports.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock,